All right. How does that sound?
Under.
Oh, no.
No, just kidding.
Is it good? Did I pick the right one?
You did.
Thank you.
I can't hear Dave.
I can't hear Dave either.
No? What are you hearing?
I can't hear him say, no, what are you hearing?
I can't hear him either, Chris. Hey, Dave.
Hi.
By the way,
Yeah.
the answer to the pre-show meeting question is yes.
Yeah. Shocker.
You're the one that sent it to me.
Was I?
And you know what? It was terrific.
Wasn't it? You guys found the video?
Yeah.
Chris had it in his saves.
No, it's pretty easy to Google.
Yeah, that was what, probably about 3 years ago, maybe something like that. Just good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Hello, hi, how are you? And hey, how you doing? Yeah, very much so. Wait a minute, hold on. What am I seeing something? Jason, above your right shoulder, did we add Malik Monk?
Yeah, Malik Monk. Well, yeah.
Your other right.
No, I know, but there's
okay.
some more additions. Hang on one second.
Interesting.
Pause.
I'm away for a couple of days, and a lot of this is for you YouTube folks. While Jason rolls over, let me fill in the blanks. Good
Malik
morning.
Monk has been in my room for a while.
Oh,
So I don't know how it got over there.
He got bored. He wanted to get out.
Bored. Get it?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look, there's Debo. Oh, there's Brock Purdy, former MVP candidate. Christian McCaffrey. Oh my goodness. You know, it's getting to the point where we're just going to have to, I mean, I like the whole Sactown Sports logo thing, but maybe the whole background. I kind of like that. It's just the players staring down, like, what's up? This is where you're at. You're at the home of the Kings. Because right now I can see Sabonis. there's the Nick Cage pillow. Maybe maybe everyone's favorite decoration in the studio. We have a little throw pillow that is glittery in the face of Nick Cage. If you're listening on the radio and not on YouTube. And what's great is you can brush up, as Jason just did, on Nick Cage's face, and it turns red. It turns into like a, when you
Now
want
he's
to get
Castor
romantic.
Troy.
Yeah, exactly.
Face off.
Does anyone know where that originated?
Yeah, I brought it in.
Did you really?
Yeah, of course Chris would have this
Of course
pillow.
he did. How did you come across a Nick Cage face-off pillow?
It was a gift sent to me. And I said, I can't just have this.
You have to share it with
I
the
have to
world.
share it with the world.
Now he's just peering in on the show.
Well, we have these cardboard cutouts that. What were these originally used for? Does anybody know? Were these for the COVID games? They were later than that.
No, yeah, these are current pictures. I don't know if we take them out on some of our remotes. I think Bobby Jones, the great Bobby Jones, has done this.
So we had these cardboard cutouts of players posing in basketball and football poses. Well, it looks like the other ones are actual game photos, but we had all these cardboard cutouts. And obviously they're not using them anymore because we have them in the studio. But now I'm wondering how they used them on remotes.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like, did they just, those, I know there's a couple of board games, and I can't think of any right now, where like you have the little cardboard avatars and you put them on the little thing, and that's what you use to move your piece around. And it kind of seems like it's a life-size version of those. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guess who?
Who?
That's the game.
Oh.
Well, now we have these, and I feel like that's the best background we've ever had. By the way, guys, I meant to ask this yesterday. When my computer gets an email and makes that sound, can you guys hear that? Because it just happened.
No.
Okay, good. Because that happens about. I don't know what's happened in the last.
I get so many emails.
6 months. No, I do, but not in the cool way. Like, hey, I'm popular and people email me. It's, I guarantee you right now that, let's see, the email I just got that you didn't hear. Oh, hey, it's another reminder from The Athletic to renew one of your 2 subscriptions.
Fun.
Jagged Little Pill, the Broadway musical, begins January 2nd at the Safe Credit Union Performing Arts Center. I will not be in town for that, which I know you guys don't care, but actually, when this was first announced, I think it was pre-COVID. My wife and I actually talked about. They only did it in New York for a while. We were gonna. I really wanted to go see this show. Yes, that's right. I did.
Wasn't in Iowa.
No, this was New York, man.
Oh.
But then I couldn't bring myself to fly to New York to go watch Jagged Little Pill on Broadway. There's just no way you can. There's no way you can. I might get a pass with Creed.
Yeah.
I probably don't get a pass with Creed.
Isn't it ironic?
Don't you think? So good morning, everybody, and welcome in. So Nick Cage's eyes are weirdly centered in Jason's broadcast. I am in Southern California through next Wednesday. It's kind of funny. We get one day when we're all in studio, unless Chris decides to leave next Thursday. So a week from today. And then it's just you guys.
Yeah. Is that a steamy hot tub over your right shoulder?
I'm pointing at the hot tub directly, so I guess technically it is over my right. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, we see like some steam. It's like from the background, almost looks like, I don't know if like there was coffee brewing back there or something, but yeah, it looks like it's from the hot tub.
Yeah. Yeah, well, what the pool here is cool and also strange because it's a smaller pool. It's a little lap pool. And what happens is when the spa heats up, the pool heats up. So generally after the show, I go dive in, but I dive into the pool because these people all like the spa to be like 109 degrees. I can't do that, man. I have.
Tomorrow, you're going to close out 2023 with like just a cannonball to end the show?
Should do that. Just take the jacket off, roll in, just cannonball in.
Just like the video Chris showed me.
Depending,
you might lose your deposit.
Literally.
Depending. Just so I don't even think I can get into it. There's a video that circulated a few years ago. I instinctively hate not letting everyone in on the joke. Jason and I were talking about a half hour before the show started, and sometimes we play this game of has Chris seen it? Because odds are he has. And it's a video. If you guys have seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a video of a guy without clothing. You see him from the back. He jumps off of like a mountain cliff into water.
Yeah, he sprints into the screen. Like, yeah, he's like a run into the jump. Yeah.
What's unique about this clip is that as soon as he jumps, I love analogies.
Oh, you do.
It's like he's he's like a bomber, like an airplane dropping his payload.
Yeah, he's putting out a fire
of natural, of organic material. There you go.
Wow,
that was a really good analogy.
Thank you. He's an organic fighter pilot. Yeah. And it's just the most randomly weird, disgusting, strange thing. And honestly, if we didn't work for such an ethical and reputable company that we do, we're also proud and happy to work for them. I would probably repeatedly use that for games like the Portland game. Like that's a visual representation of what the Kings did against the Celtics.
Just jumping into it.
How was your day? How was your evening, Jason?
It was good. So does that mean back to that you were not doing that version tomorrow?
No. But I will.
Version though?
I will. Yes, I will.
You're going to jump in tomorrow?
Yeah, I will vacate at the end of the show. Well, when we sign off, I'll turn around and I'll dive in, clothes and all, into the pool to wash away 2023 and cleanse in for 2024.
Oh, wow, Chris, we got to keep the camera on to see that then. Okay.
Yeah, and what a year it's going to be, guys.
Going forward, 24.
Yeah, 2024. Okay. I don't know. I always get a little bit nervous as we close out a year, because I try to think about, and by the way, welcome into the theme of today's show. With the Kings, they arrived. By the way, does anyone else, or have you ever heard of anyone else, or am I just an absolute psycho, Anyone else ever follow the Kings plane when they fly on one of those apps?
Yeah, you're a psycho.
Yeah, you're a psycho. But I have seen a few people do that,
I
have not.
I was just curious as to
how do you do that.
Well, there's an app I use called Flight Tracker, and the Kings fly Delta. They have a Delta charter, and so it's not incredibly difficult. Sometimes you have to cycle through a couple of flights, but if you know relatively the time frame, and then you can look back at the history. So, for example, when the Kings left Portland yesterday, it shows the previous flight, and that was from Sacramento to Portland. So, pretty easy to deduce that route. So they arrived. Let's see.
I wish they would just have the logo on the map, and it's just like the Kings logo is just going.
Wouldn't that be great? Or maybe like a different player, like Malik Monk going up for that dunk. And he's like rolling through Iowa.
Yeah.
And they switch it to Kevin Herter. Notice I'm leaning to the side when I take my jump shot because I'm off balance.
Wow.
And then Harrison Barnes is just sleeping his way through some other state. De'Aaron Fox lands the plane. Domantas Sabonis. I can't think of anything, but something did. He's handing out snacks.
Yes. He's the snack man.
Chris Duarte accidentally reroutes them to Maine.
What? Oh, never mind. Oh, no, I'm going to. What does Davion do? Don't. And what does JaVale do? Let's go there.
Davion Mitchell actually pilots the plane for 3 states, but you have no idea he was piloting at any time. And you turn to him and you go, Were you really doing that for 3 states? He's like, yeah, bro, I was.
When did you get on the plane?
If they're going rather slow, Mike Brown comes in to turn the jets on. And so anyways, I followed them. They left around 11 our time, a little after 11. It was a 4-hour, 16-minute flight from and also, you know what? Why hasn't somebody done that yet? I don't think it's like an invasion of privacy since it's all publicly that would actually be kind of interesting. If for those of you out there that just want to have a Twitter account that people follow and you really don't care, you should start a Twitter account called NBA Flights and do nothing but post like the Milwaukee Bucks just took off from Orlando and they landed in whatever. And just every time, and I guarantee you that after a year, that Twitter account that did nothing but NBA flights, that have an NFL flights, those Twitter accounts that have like 100,000 followers. That's how weird we are.
Probably. Yeah.
Anyways, they landed in Atlanta. They have a full day today in Atlanta and do whatever they want. So that's always great. It's always great when any team has a full day in Atlanta. Nothing.
There was a Twitter account that used to do that.
Was there really? And they just
Sports
stopped?
Aviation. It looks like their last tweet was 11/2/23.
Well, see, that's November 2nd. Yeah, not that long ago, but they're obviously slacking. I mean, you'd have to keep up on that, but people that do that, we have no lives anyways if we're on social media. So Kings there. No game today though. No game tonight, no game last night, no football last night, couple of basketball games. So we thought it'd be a good opportunity today as we take a break. There's a couple of sports things going on that we'll talk about, but as we wind down the year, we'll start to do a little bit of a year in review. We'll do New Year's resolutions. We'll we'll have an in memoriam segment where we'll take a look at who we lost in the sports world over 2023. Give us a chance to look forward to 2024. So it's Carmichael Dave, it's Christopher Ladd, and of course Jason Ross and Nicolas Cage all hanging out. And oh, by the way, it'd be even better if you can come up with a Twitter account for the teams that are driving. Like if like the Warriors, for example, come up here, they're taking a drive. There's got to be routes where NBA teams drive instead of fly because it's just a lot quicker. And my guess is when they do, they're driving in a brand new $1,000 off MSRP on the new 2023 Ram 1500 Crew Cabs. No payments for 90 days. You want a brand new hybrid? Yeah, okay. Dodge Hornet. It's a brand new vehicle. 2024. We're not even there yet. They went into the future somehow. It's a plug-in hybrid. It's an SUV. That stands for Sport Utility Vehicle, by the way, in case you didn't. $199 a month for 27 months with over $5,500 in savings. It's a great payment on a brand new vehicle. You can take advantage of federal and state rebates with one of those plug-in hybrids. You can always see Hoblet's true pricing at hobletdodge.com. What does that mean? That means the price you see is the price you pay. No hidden fees, add-ons, or surprises. Part of the reason why they are the #1 Ram truck dealer in California, #7 in the whole U.S. of A. Get out there today to Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram for the wrap-up the year sales event. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet's. Period. We will take a break. When we return, we will lead it off and get into a New Year's edition of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross right here on your home of the Niners and your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
They did an old-fashioned good job of whooping the Kings tonight. 4.2 seconds to go. They take the shot clock violation. The final score is undoubtedly going to be 130 to 113. Kings inbound to Vizenkov. He not going anywhere in the backcourt. Chauncey Billups, Mike Brown embrace at midcourt on the far side. And it is official. And the Portland Trailblazers have got one for just the 8th time this year. And they do it at the expense of the Sacramento Kings, who wanted so hard to open this road trip on a successful winning note. But this was anything but a winning performance as far as the Kings were concerned.
Jason, you have covered this team for a long time. I have covered the team less time than you, but also a long time. You know, I look back just because sometimes you think something is the way it is, and then the data proves you wrong. But I'm going back to February 27th, 2008. The Kings played the Hawks. You remember that game, of course.
Of course.
123-117, Hawks won. They played again the following February, and the Hawks won. Then they played in March, and the Hawks won. Then in November, the following year, Hawks won. Hawks won again in January. January of the following year, they won. They actually played twice in 13 days, and the Hawks won there too. As a matter of fact, Jason, if I count up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Jason, if I had told you that once upon a time the Sacramento Kings had a 15-game losing streak to the Hawks that ran through November 18th, 2015, is that something that you would have remembered?
I do, actually.
Well, they're building on it because they are currently in the middle of a 4-game losing streak to the Atlanta Hawks. The last time the Sacramento Kings beat the Atlanta Hawks, March 13th, 2021. I don't know what it is, because when you look at the all-time record, just the all-time record, the Hawks are winning 164 to 159. But I'll go back at some point and look at the Sacramento era, because it's just, I feel like every time we play in Atlanta, I don't care if it's the 0-2 version of those teams, I don't care if it's now, and I don't care if it's 1990, it always seems like these guys just beat us.
And I don't exactly, and it's not like the Hawks have been juggernauts in any of this stretch. I mean, they had a good run to the conference finals a couple years ago, but yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me why they've had so much trouble with this particular team. Like the Bucks, they've had trouble with, but that makes some sense. The Hawks do not to me.
Looking back right now, just for funsies, the Kings finally snapped a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-game losing streak to the Hawks, February 23rd, 2000. They beat them 100-94. Then, excuse me, I apologize. February 20th, 2001, they beat them 94-80. Okay. They then proceeded to win 4 in a row. They actually won 11 12 of 13 against the Hawks. So I take it back. Those 0-2 teams owned the Hawks. Other than that, I don't, look, the at least on the road, the NBA rumor mill, if you will, the gossip is always that, when you're playing in Miami, when you're playing in Atlanta, and you've got some time off, when you're playing in New Orleans to a lesser extent, the next day you have weirdly tired legs. You have, the jumpers are going off the front of the rim. And what the implication there is that everybody goes out and parties and gets hammered. They're a little hung the next day. But you correct me if I'm wrong. And you know this team as well, better than I do. This doesn't really seem like a party team.
Doesn't seem like it to me. And I mean, I just think they find their own ways to lose.
We'll get into more of that and how the Kings can find ways to lose tomorrow night versus the Hawks. Remember, that's an early game right here on Sactown Sports. In the meantime, cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
You said, hopefully I own the Mavs another 40 years. What changed?
Yeah, I mean, media companies are going out of business, right? They're consolidating. That world is changing. And so what went from an advantage was not so much an advantage anymore. And so, it was always, okay, I wanted to build, and then it was 2-3 years ago, I started talking about a casino and destination resort. And I knew, and I told you guys then, I wasn't going to be one to build it, right? But as it makes sense, if someone's going to come in as a partner and invest potentially billions of dollars, they're going to want equity.
How does this benefit the basketball product?
It's another base of revenue that wasn't there before. I mean, I've never really focused on that side of things at all. You guys, business side is the business side. As long as we were decent, Cinda's done a great job. Then I was happy. And, losing money was like part of the drill. But it's just changed, your largest revenue source goes away, and you guys know how the media landscape has changed.
Yeah. So that's part of Mark Cuban visiting with the media. You know what? We're late anyway, so we'll skip number 3, which is just a little bit of what we talked yesterday about Russell Wilson being benched. We'll talk about that again in the show. Jason, I have been, and I continue to be incredibly fascinated by this story, and I want to put a pin in it, as we should, and come back to it at some point, because Mark Cuban sold his majority stake, I should say, in the Dallas Mavericks. That we knew that was coming. That was announced a little over a month ago, and it was finalized yesterday. Board of Governors approved it. And now what was originally reported was that he would continue to run basketball ops, and I think everybody just assumed, okay, well, he's still the face of the franchise. He just gets a couple $1 billion. But now it comes out that one of his partners will actually have final say, although Cuban will continue to run basketball ops. Jason, there is more to this story. And I know the big rumor is, Mark Cuban's going to run for president. We're already less than a year away. I find that incredibly hard to believe. He also left Shark Tank. Something else is going on here, and I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but this is one of those times where I think it's founded. You could go real big conspiracy and say the NBA stepped in a year ago. Remember when all this stuff was coming out about how the Mavs were run and how it had a toxic culture behind the scenes, and maybe they said, Mark, we're going to give you a year to kind of step out and figure this out, or we'll do it for you. I think that's one side of the conspiracy. The other is that he's making a move to do something else, but this is his life. This is his love. He grew up a fan. He was a software salesman. He bought the team. He's made a ton of money. This is his vanity project. I don't see Mark Cuban just getting bored with this.
Yeah, it's interesting what he's describing there. It seems like he's trying to get ahead of something that maybe we're not privy to, but look, I think these guys generally do pretty well in the business realm. So he's got some ideas here. He's got some ideas. I certainly want to know what they are. And I would just say, put a pin in that. Stay tuned. There's more to this story. We'll take a break. When we come back, again, this is a New Year's themed show for you. Don't forget, by the way, we will have Sam Amic on at 8 o'clock. We're also going to have Matthew Barrows of The Athletic for Niners at 9 to kind of do a post-mortem on the Christmas night debacle that was. When we get back, though, the top sports stories nationally
This is a national thing here. We're going to need your help at 916-339-1140. That's your text line. You can also get in the chat as well. These aren't ranked. These are just your biggest sports stories of the year from a whole country and whole world point of view. We'll get to that next.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday. You're out that door to a soggy start thanks to the rain that fell overnight. Today is looking like a dry day with sun and clouds mixing in, and afternoon highs in the upper 50s to about 60 degrees. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
This holiday season, Elk Grove Kia is here to make your dreams come true. With over 100 years of combined experience, our expert financing team is ready to help you get a new ride in 2024. You have repos, late payments, or even faced bankruptcy? No problem. At Elk Grove Kia, we believe everyone deserves a sleigh full of joy, and we're here to make it happen. And the gifts just keep coming. Purchase any new Kia today, and you won't make a single payment until next year. That's right, no payments until 2024. Now that's how you close out the year in a new ride from Elk Grove Kia. Plus, with Elk Grove Kia, there's no need to tighten your belt this holiday season because we're offering no money down. You heard that right. No money down and no payments until 2024. Santa may have his reindeer, but we've got the horsepower. Visit Elk Grove Kia today and let us make this holiday season the merriest one yet. So no matter your credit history, drive into the holidays with a smile and a new Kia from Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or visit us at elkgrovekia.com today. And happy holidays from
Elk Grove Kia.
Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry are here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call.
At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested, and will greet you with a smile.
They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later.
They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys.
So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No surprise guys, Bell Brothers.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
To see the slow motion chest bumps, to see the high fives with mom, to see how, Chiefs Kingdom was all excited that she was there, that was absolutely hysterical. It was definitely a game I'll remember, that's for damn sure. And then we just slid off in the getaway car at the end. Shout out to Taylor for coming through and see me rock the stage.
That's Travis Kelce, whose girlfriend, Taylor Swift, has become part of the NFL sports world. It's an interesting concept, if you will.
It was okay.
It was polarizing for some weird reason. As we get into this segment where we look at some of the top stories in the sports world nationally, and look, Taylor Swift, whether you're into her or not into her, love her music, don't care, there's no denying. I mean, I can name like probably 2 or 3 Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah.
And one of them is because there was a video going around like 8 years ago. She has a song called I think it was like I knew you were trouble when you walked in. I knew you were trouble. And they like cut it up to where every time she would go, it would be a goat going, meh. And I actually really like, that was a super funny clip. And that was kind of my introduction to Taylor Swift. It's just not my thing, but also all the respect in the world. Good for her. She's built an empire. And she is incredibly popular to a point where we've talked about this, where people are using life savings to buy tickets to her shows, where they're wearing adult diapers so they don't miss a song. And then she starts dating a very high profile NFL player on the reigning Super Bowl champions. And Jason, it just became one of the many, many dramatic sideshows of the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, she had a monster year just literally for her professionally, right? As far as what she was doing, what she was selling out, the craze that was Taylor Swift during the year. But then it became a craze for the NFL, right or wrong, frustrating for maybe the diehard NFL fans. Maybe not. Maybe it was too much. Who knows? But where I got, some of the things you would think it's just not even going to end up on everybody's radar. But Dave, this clip, I think, was the one that got me when Bill Belichick even talked about it.
Swiftie to Swiftie, Taylor Swift was in attendance to watch Travis Kelce's game with his mom in the box. Seems like they may be the new it couple. Where do you fall on that? Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, power couple in the NFL.
Well, I would say that the Kelce's had a lot of big catches in his career. This would be the biggest.
Nailed it.
Oh,
yeah,
pretty big.
Loving him was red.
I like it when Bill Belichick gets loose.
Is that the most excited you've ever heard of?
Absolutely. I was like, he's not going to even answer this question. And then he went in.
I want to know what the next question was.
Yeah.
So third quarter.
I know.
Credit the Colts.
I know you're making a point, but just out of curiosity, have you guys ever heard the clip of it was a reporter that I think asked him about like something about punting in the kicking game, and Bill gave a 9-minute answer?
Yes.
You know the clip I'm talking about, right? just completely out of the blue, and it's like the most illuminating Bill Belichick clip ever to show like how obsessed he is with the game of football. Dude just goes off on 9 minutes on the kicking game. Anyways, yeah, Taylor Swift, big story. Also, Taylor Swift, I know, you know, gets a lot of crap because people are pissed that they keep cutting to her in the box. It's like, get mad at the executives, you know, Jason?
Right. She didn't choose. I mean, she's not shying away from it, but she's also not asking for that. And it's just, I guess there's a more of a mass appeal. Not that football needs it. We know it. The ratings kill every week, but she, I guess, has helped add to it this year.
Liv Golf, also a huge story, not just in golf, but in the sports world this year.
Yeah, for sure. And it got everybody's attention, Dave, including the PGA and those that were against it, like Rory McIlroy.
Obviously, we all ask you a lot of questions about Liv, and you've spoken yourself recently about the burden of that. Is it going to be a conscious thing for you going forward to try and sidestep that narrative? Yeah.
Yep. He did not want to talk about it.
Yeah. Liv Golf has stepped in, and this goes back, you know, to the previous year, but we just saw recently
the game of golf.
They got John Rahm just a couple weeks ago. They have some big players. As a matter of fact, really, Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Tiger Woods. Those are three of the very few pillars of golf left solely with the PGA. And what we learned last year in 2023 is that the PGA and Liv Golf have the skeleton, if you will, the framework, for those of you Kings fans out there, the framework of a deal to merge, but they are on a clock right now. And keep an eye on this, but we have seen this. It's not just a matter of somebody coming in and trying to take out the PGA Tour. This has become an international conversation that goes beyond the world of sports because of where the money comes from. Liv Golf as well. So huge story in golf and in the world. Also, I would say in 2023, one of the bigger stories, the rise of women's sports. Not that women's sports didn't exist before this year, not that it wasn't popular, but it just seems like this year there was a big step forward, whether it was the Women's World Cup, the Las Vegas Aces, Coco Gauff, and of course, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, a rivalry for the ages that will hopefully continue in the WNBA.
65-54 LSU. Clark left wing three is good. 22 for Caitlin Clark. 65-57. Iowa with an 8.
And here come the Hawkeyes. So this was for the girls that look like me, that's going to speak up on what they believe in. It's unapologetically you. And that's what I did it for tonight. This was for it was bigger than me tonight. It was bigger than me. Twitter is going to go in a rage every time. And I mean, I'm happy. I feel like I've helped grow women's basketball this year. I'm super happy and excited. So I'm looking forward to celebrating in the next season.
Yeah, Dave, what I loved about this year for women's sports. So that first clip was obviously a Caitlin Clark hoop. That was Angel Reese talking about the championship win. That men got bent out of shape, that, you know, there was some taunting and gesturing, and it's like, for whatever reason, that was bothering them. And I thought that maybe made the sport evolve even more, if that makes sense.
It 100% makes sense. And I don't want to fill this with hyperbole, but when you look at the rise of the NBA, you could argue that the most important thing that launched the NBA to where it is today was when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came out of college. They played each other in the final. They had a rivalry through college. They went into the pros. Now, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are not Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, and understandably so. I'm just saying they're different players. But you have some of the similar ingredients as it carries into the WNBA, kind of going back and forth. And let's not look. Let's just be honest. Let's just be fully transparent when we have these conversations. It doesn't hurt that they're both of a separate color, and that factored in, whether you believe it or not. You haven't watched the documentaries, please do. When it was the rise of Magic and Larry, and you had different people rooting for different sides, and it brought in a different component that some might say is not a good component, and I completely understand that. But that's just how it is sometimes in sports, whether it's boxing, whether it's basketball, whatever it may be. Rivalries are rivalries are rivalries, whether you agree with them or not. There are a lot of components here to really continue to elevate. And it's not just, I think, the national publications and TVs throwing it on, as many would conspire, because they're partners. There's genuine, renewed, or nude, I should say, interest, NEWED interest, in the rise of women's athletics. I am completely here for it. I always say, Jason, the more things you have to watch, the more things you're passionately involved in, the more the fun is, regardless of sport, gender, whatever it may be. I am completely here for it. We'll take a break. When we come back, and by the way, there's a lot of stories we did not get to. Jason and I talked before the show and predicted this, that we would go off on some tangents. That's my fault. When we come back, though, kind of a, like the Oscars, we're not going to play the sappy music, but in memoriam, we lost a number of people in the sports world in 2023. Some you'll remember, and inevitably there's going to be some that are going to give you one of two reactions. Either A, I didn't know, or B, I thought they'd already passed. Either way, we will celebrate the lives of many that we lost in the sports world as we wrap up the new year next.
The 49ers' final road game of the regular season is Sunday in D.C.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Debo Samuel.
San Francisco continues its quest for the NFC's top seed. 49ers and Commanders, Sunday at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Timing is everything, and now is the time to buy, California, during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers. It's time for our biggest offers of the year on the entire Ford lineup of trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years and counting, or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport, with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors, and the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. Now's the time to buy during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers, with exclusive offers on your favorite Ford vehicles. And now is your time to get behind the wheel of the Ford truck or SUV you've always wanted. But time is running out. These offers absolutely end on January 2nd. Visit your California Ford dealer today, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides 24/7 compassionate support and connection to trained counselors. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. The Lifeline works. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, just call, text, or chat 988.
Hey, DC comic movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is playing Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the IMAX experience, for a limited time.
I'm gonna murder his family and burn his kingdom to ash.
Experience this year's superhero film of the year on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen. Getting tickets is easy. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento for showtimes and reserved seating. And don't miss Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom at the Esquire IMAX Theater this week.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
California's largest Sportsman's Expo is back, January 18th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Buy the latest gear, meet the experts, learn about fishing, hunting, boating, and off-roading. See Toyota's all-new Tacoma. This is the place to discover your next adventure, nearby or around the world. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 18th through 21st at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
It's my favorite time of the year. Folsom Lake Ford's year-end sell-a-thon with the low finance rates, special year-end savings, and zero down deals with approved credit. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters for over 30 years.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big ol' nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Bonnie Plumbing, Electric Heating and Air.
Get your retirement savings to play ball with your retirement plan. Call Cap Trust today at 916-924-7527 or log on to captrust.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
Yeah, just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
We'll get to in memoriam here in a second. I just came across this during the break. This is you got to love a good conspiracy theory, Jason. So MC, I know you're in the chat. I go back and forth with MC, but I like to say at least once a year. He listens every day. He's always trolling for likes and trying to help out the broadcast. He and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, but he is here every day, and I know Jason and Chris feel the same way. We appreciate each and every one of you that tune in on a daily basis and support the program. Truly, we do. So thank you for that. I got a conspiracy theory for you.
Okay.
The 49ers lost to the Cleveland Browns 19-17. You remember that game?
I do.
And Deshaun Watson was out for the year. The 49ers lost to the Vikings 22-17. You remember that game?
I do.
And Kirk Cousins was out for the year. The 49ers lost to the Cincinnati Bengals 31-17. You remember that game?
Do.
Joe Burrow out for the season. The 49ers' fourth loss was to the Baltimore Ravens 33-19. Now, the conspiracy is this. Remember how Lamar tripped over the referee, and that's what caused the safety?
Yeah.
What if the referee traveled back in time to prevent Lamar Jackson from being out the rest of the year and took Lamar out in the end zone for his own good? Jason Ross, your thoughts?
My thoughts is if said referee traveled back in time, I think I don't want to be as dismissive as I don't think that travel back in time is just to save him for his own good. If you're doing that, you're saving him for that team to win the Super Bowl. Right? I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to be as, it's not that big a deal to get hurt. Like, nobody wants that. But I feel like if you're coming back in time, you're doing it for a bigger purpose.
You're probably also betting on a couple of games, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. That is actually really weird that their 3 losses, they scored 17 points, and all 3 teams that beat them lost their quarterback for the entire season. That's spooky.
Would you play Lamar Jackson this week?
I
would save Richard this week.
Yeah, well, I'll bubble wrap him. That's maybe my favorite sports conspiracy theory of the whole year, except the time travel part. That's not believable, Jason.
Well,
yeah,
speak for yourself.
What is believable in 2023 is that life and death are inevitable. We lost quite a few characters, quite a few legends in the world of sports, and we probably won't have time to get to any of them. As always, if we forget some, 916-339-1140 is our text line, or put them in the YouTube chat. One clip here from maybe the most vocal member of our in memoriam, Indiana amongst others, but we remember him as the Indiana basketball coach, Bobby Knight.
When my time on earth is gone and my activities here are past, I want they bury me upside down and my critics can kiss my
It's such a great quote, obviously tying into the passing of the great Bobby Knight, who was controversial. There are some that would not say he's the great Bobby Knight. They would just say he was Bobby Knight. There is a part of me that wants to know, if you're his family, do you bury him upside down just to honor his wishes? Do you do it just to say, you know what, that's what Coach would have wanted?
Oh, man. Maybe.
Jim Brown. We lost Jim Brown, not just arguably, there are people that would argue, and I'm not going to argue against him, that he's the greatest football player of all time, the most dominant football player of all time, somebody that before Barry Sanders retired in his absolute prime. And
Barry Sanders' dad said that Brown was a better running back than him.
I mean, Jim Brown was a man amongst boys. You hear that term all the time, but it really was. You look at clips of Jim Brown, and it's almost like he was it's not an exact comp, but it's like the Wilt Chamberlain of the NFL, just somebody who was so ahead of his time, somebody that was just so dominant. And Jim Brown fans like to bring up, and my dad, I think if he was out here, would say the same thing, that don't forget, some say Jim Brown was a better lacrosse player than he was an NFL player, Jason.
Yeah, and when you have athletes like that are, quote, ahead of their time, when people go, bigger, stronger, faster, are those guys. But look what they do now. They'd have trouble. It's an unfair thought, I think, because I think you would then assume that they would be bigger, stronger than people now. Like, he was a freak athlete, so good, so much better than everybody, that put him in this time with kind of the present day. And if he was bigger, stronger, faster, then he would be as dominant now too. So just an incredible, incredible athlete.
Willis Reed, famous, maybe the most famous. He's got to be the most famous return from an injury in a game to will his team, no pun intended, to victory. Went on to have he had a very successful career playing, very successful career as an ambassador and doing several things in the NBA. Same with Dick Butkus, one of those that still my most random Twitter follow. I'll never have that explained ever. Randomly, Dick Butkus followed me 3 years ago. And you know what, Jason? Will follow me forever.
True.
Yeah, it's a great point. Dick Butkus, the great Chicago Bear. Why am I pausing? Chicago Bear, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I thought
you're thinking him as the coach from Hang Time.
I mean, one of those crossovers, right? As Jim Brown, by the way, acted in quite a few movies.
Mars Attacks.
Dick Butkus was in Mars Attacks?
No, Jim Brown was in Mars Attacks.
Vida Blue, the Oakland Egg great, the San Francisco Giant great. And as, again, I'll bring my dad up here, would always say the Tinkers to Evers to Chance is probably the most famous double play combination. But what was it? Green to brown to blue. Because occasionally they'd throw Vida Blue at first base. Green to brown to blue, the Giants double play combo a couple of times. Former 49er great Russ Francis. We lost him this year. Billy Packer. Voice of college basketball, Jason. I know that hits you as well as me. That was a voice of our youth for sure.
Yeah, there's a couple guys like that, Billy Packer and then Tim McCarver. Like between baseball and basketball, those two guys, listen to them as kind of a backdrop, a soundtrack for years and years and years.
When you think of Tim McCarver, first thing you think of?
Deion Sanders.
Same here. Same here. Class act Deion.
Yeah.
I don't think she would mind either. Our good friend Jody Bacon is a stage manager, whatever you call it, for a lot of national broadcasts, just making sure everything's cool. And she, for a long time, anytime they were local, would be the stage manager for Joe Buck and Tim McCarver on the baseball broadcast. And Tim would often want an ibuprofen during or before games, and I'm not going to get it right, but one day she brought him Advil, and anytime he saw her, you got any of those candies that make me feel better, because they have the candy coated shell on them.
Yeah.
We lost Tim Wakefield. That was incredibly unexpected, and that was fairly recently. That was very, very sad. Lost him to cancer. Brooks Robinson, the great third baseman for the Baltimore Orioles. The Iron Sheik, who went on after his wrestling career to have, that's a guy that used social media the right way.
Yes.
Then it turned out that it was just his scummy manager.
Oh.
It wasn't him?
No.
Oh, I was thinking like you too, Dave.
What the heck, Chris? Why'd you ruin that? I thought it was him.
It was like the person taking advantage of him.
Oh, that's stupid then. All right. Well, Iron Sheik wasn't stupid though. And finally, I know we're out of time. Saving the one that hit me at least. The maybe the toughest, but the originator of Hum Baby, a guy with Al Rosen that brought the San Francisco Giants from 103 losses with Chili Davis and friends to Will Clark, Robbie Thompson, and so many more. The 1987 and 1989 NL West champions, of course, National League champions, getting swept in the Earthquake Series against the A's. But Roger Craig, longtime player, longtime manager, passed away in his 90s, early 90s, after a long life. And any Giants fans of our generation know that the Hum Baby finally left us, but left a huge mark on everybody that ever rooted for that team. We'll take a break. When we come back, we did top stories nationally. Let's look at some top stories locally. Don't forget Sam Amic at 8 o'clock. We'll have Matt Barrows at Niners at 9. So don't go away. We're right back on Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted, ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner.
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday. You're out that door to a soggy start thanks to the rain that fell overnight. Today is looking like a dry day with sun and clouds mixing in, and afternoon highs in the upper 50s to about 60 degrees. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by E.B. Stone. E.B. Stone for the life of your garden. The 49ers Christmas was ruined Monday night, dropping their first game in 6 weeks, 33-19 to Baltimore. Quarterback Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions in the game, the most for any 49ers gunslinger since Colin Kaepernick in 2015. The Red and Gold still control their own destiny in the NFC playoff standings, looking to get back on track New Year's Eve against Washington.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, E.B. Stone has gathered in valuable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with E.B. Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. E.B. Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive, both indoors and outdoors. Trust E.B. Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing green.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Why is the world's #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools. From trimmers and blowers to mowers and more, trusted by homeowners and pros all over the world. And you'll find service and help from experienced professionals. Real STIHL. Find yours at STIHLdealers.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks for their respective companies.
This holiday season, Elk Grove Kia is here to make your dreams come true. With over 100 years of combined experience, our expert financing team is ready to help you get a new ride in 2024. You have repos, late payments, or even faced bankruptcy? No problem. At Elk Grove Kia, we believe everyone deserves a sleigh full of joy, and we're here to make it happen. And the gifts just keep coming. Purchase any new Kia today, and you won't make a single payment until next year. That's right, no payments until 2024. Now that's how you close out the year in a new ride from Elk Grove Kia. Plus, with Elk Grove Kia, there's no need to tighten your belt this holiday season because we're offering no money down. You heard that right. No money down and no payments until 2024. Santa may have his reindeer, but we've got the horsepower. Visit Elk Grove Kia today and let us make this holiday season the merriest one yet. So no matter your credit history, drive into the holidays with a smile and a new Kia from Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or visit us at elkgrovekia.com today. And happy holidays from
Elk Grove Kia.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
I'm filled with gratitude for the Golf to Go show guests who have trusted us with their time, their thoughts, and their dreams. People like NBC's Peter Jacobson, Angie Dixon from First Tee Greater Sacramento, former 49er great Steve Young, Sir Nick Faldo, the heralded team at Hagen Oaks like Ken Morton Jr., Tom Morton, PGA Golf to Go's resident on-air playing coach, Mike Woods, PGA Director of Golf, and all the PGA professionals and guests who have entertained us over this year's 52 shows. Thanks also to you, our loyal listeners who are there every week with compliments and suggestions when we might hit it out of bounds. Thanks also to the game that brings us all together, to the millions of men, women, boys, and girls who play the game. Thanks to the able-bodied, and thanks also to the programs that nurture those in need of a lift, like the California Eagles, PGA Hope, and many more. Thank you to Scott Marsh. We are fortunate to have lived life and had a chance to play the game. If that's your Golf to Go, I'm Frank LaRosa.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Dellavedova holding it. See if he tries to give it up to avoid being credited a turnover or not. He's just going to hold it. And the buzzer sounds to shot clock violation. So the Blazers will get the ball back. We have only 12.8 seconds remaining. And Kings fans, we can see them in all areas of the arena. A lot of purple on their feet, chanting, "Light the beam." Well, in a matter of 5 seconds, it will be lit in Sacramento. The horn sounds, and for the first time in 17 years, 16 seasons of frustration, 16 years of wandering in the desert, looking for that oasis, the Kings have finally found the sparkling waters, the palm trees. It's not a mirage, it's the real deal. Sacramento has clinched first round home court advantage in the playoffs that will be starting in a couple of weeks. Tonight's final score is 120-80.
As we get into the top local stories, we could do the whole show on that.
Yeah, really.
It occurs to me, Jason, I know Gary, Gerald, and I are of different age generations.
Couple years.
And, knock on wood, God forbid this happens. But if I leave this earth before G-Man does, I want him to do the eulogy, because there's just no moment that he doesn't just absolutely nail. It doesn't matter the situation. He doesn't rehearse it. He doesn't write it in advance. You know that. You work next to him every single year. It's like this weird instinctual gift, and I think it's every bit as impressive as Michael Jordan pushing off Byron Russell for the game winner. I think it's every bit as impressive as anything you look at clutch in sports. I always say play-by-play folks, they're superheroes to me, and to be able to capture those moments without stuttering, without pausing, and just have the perfect prose to lay out to the fans to send shivers down their spines. He's just the best that ever did it.
That's it. Again, for as skilled as he is in everything he does, it's like he's Fox in the fourth quarter. He's just clutch. Like the moment of the game, the big moment of fan reaction, of kind of fan perspective there in that call of what it was like for 16 years. I mean, just the visual of wandering around in the desert looking for something, like we're lost, and then boom, here it is. It's a reality. And again, I'm sitting right next to him. There's no script. And it's kind of that other stuff's going on. Oh, they'll take the final whistle, and then boom, he gets into this call. You're like, perfect, absolutely perfect.
And I would say, having had where would we May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 8 months. I had to count on my fingers. So the better part of a year, 3/4 of a year, if you will, ish. I would say that's probably my favorite 24 hours in this business. We were all at the game. We were all sitting in different areas, including Frank. You didn't want to sit next to me. And you were up at the broadcast. We had a ton of local media members out there. And as if that night wasn't special enough, it would have been great to do it at home. But there was also just something about experiencing that with Kings fans on the road, knowing that we were, separated by a couple of states or a state. But we could feel the passion back home in that building, if that makes sense. And then Jason, the next day, and how, we had equipment issues. I was down in the town square on my phone. Right. The moment, again, for me personally, when my dad called in and I lost it, and meeting fans at that Starbucks, and having them come on, nothing was planned, kind of like G-Man, nothing was planned, nothing. Yeah. We had no idea the way that show would go, but to be able to share that with fans and hear people call in and talk about generations and fans breaking down on the air like that was just a really special 24 hours.
The people that called it, you ran into Mark Jones on the street. I think I remember Christina Warner. Yeah, Christina Warner called in, Lisa Gonzalez, I think Marcos, just people that, fans too, and Kings fans, but media members that are fans. It was just, you could tell, we knew it was a special moment, but sometimes you get lost in your own kind of little smaller bubble, and you're like, yeah, we know this is big. Look, I've been involved in this. You've been involved in this. But then you realize, yeah, everybody has too, and just what it meant to them, and to hear a story. We just had so many uplifting stories from fans that what it truly meant to them, which was really, really cool.
There were a couple in there. I know one in particular, somebody who I think they lost their father a year or two prior, and growing up, and it reminds you as to why it's not just about it's bigger than basketball, as we like to say. And the moments got even more special, arguably, as we got into finally the Warriors and Kings in the playoffs at the same time. Of course, they were going to face each other in the first round, David versus Goliath, and at least after game one, David was landing the arrows.
You couldn't ask for more drama in the opening playoff game. Inbounds pass to Curry. He turns, he wheels, he fires, he misses. Barnes with a rebound, and Sacramento has won game number 1. After 17 years without a playoff experience, they have risen to the occasion. They were down by 10, not once, but twice in the third quarter, and they battled their way back. They took a 1-point lead into the fourth. They opened up a 6-point advantage at 122 to 116. They hung on as the Warriors fought their way back, and Sacramento gets the victory. The final score is 126 to 123. And let me tell you, if you can't sense it, if you can't feel it through the radio, this place is absolutely nuts.
He was right.
Yeah. And raise your hand if you thought that Curry shot was going in.
Oh, of course. Of course.
They just need to bottle those G-Man calls. Make that my alarm clock every single morning. I hate it because we got to keep moving here. I want to get everything in. Oh, and by the way, and that's exactly how the series ended. The Kings went on to win the title. Woo! Brock Purdy, the emergence of Brock Purdy. Seems like he's been around for a while. Let's not forget. Oh, my goodness gracious. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, emerges. And through this year, with the exception of last week, has been relatively dominant. Let's not forget how he showed up versus the Philadelphia Eagles not that long ago.
Deebo Samuel is loose. Touchdown! San Francisco, the Deebo dash.
What a play call. Quick perimeter screen out to the left. Quick snap. Deebo's waving bye-bye to
His
this
third touchdown of the
Philadelphia crowd.
game.
Yeah, his third, but the fourth thrown by Purdy. And, of course, Brock, Dave, for him to be from the last pick, as we've said, to serious MVP candidate is ridiculous on a Super Bowl favorite.
In what's effectively just over his rookie year. And
Right.
It's, look, not trying. The only comparison I'm making when it involves Patrick Mahomes to Brock Purdy is we saw very similar. Remember, Patrick Mahomes had one start at the end of his rookie year, then came in and blew the doors off the place and that emergence, and he was an instant superstar. Long way to go for Brock there, but just the emergence of him where he was picked obviously has to be a huge story. And the 49ers, funny doing this, after that loss, but a lot of season to go.
Yeah.
And without fail, there's no way we're doing stories of the year without maybe, and I'm going to say this, agree or disagree, but maybe the greatest play-by-play call in all of college football. I'll take you to Hornets versus Cardinals.
1:45 left, 3rd and 6. Stanford gets a late sub off. If the Hornets would have snapped it, would have been a free play. Now it comes in on 3rd and 6. Bennett to throw, pressure coming. Bennett avoids that. Bennett outside. Bennett throws late. It's caught by Fulcher. First down and more. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Touchdown, Hornets! What just happened?
What did happen there, Jason?
I don't know.
Answer your own question.
What just happened? Sac State went to Stanford and beat their old coach, beat a Pac-12 team in a truly significant win and a memorable moment for Hornet fans. Certainly a memorable moment for me. That was a lot of fun.
You had and isn't that just a microcosm? It's great to end the segment this way. We talk about the legendary Gary Gerald, voice of the Kings, and how in those moments, at least you go, well, if they win tonight this, if they win tonight that, but no rehearsal, just comes out. But then with you, legendary voice of the Sac State Hornets, you have no idea that's coming. You have no idea that's coming at all.
Yeah, I just start screaming.
Well, if you'd have been 90% of the other college, if you'd have been most of the other college or NFL broadcasts, you would have had some Ross Hengelhofer, offensive lineman, 86 Hornets going, but that was a clean call on you. So good for you. Well done. Well done, Jason.
Thank you.
Well done. I'm just going to I just want that to breathe for a second. That was, and by the way, Sac State went to Stanford and won, and it was new coach versus old coach. And I think safe to say in a year of mostly ups, that had to be the highlight for the Sac State Hornet football program.
For sure. For sure.
We will take a break. I hope you're having as much fun as we are doing this, going back through 2023. And boy, we haven't gotten to every single local story, every single national story. We'll see if we have time a little bit later, but it is a packed show. We're going to do New Year's resolutions for all of our local-ish teams, along with sports as a whole. We'll do that at 7:27. Coming up next, though, it's a Kings-centric 3 for Madness, brought to you by Fire Wings. Just a 1-minute break. Don't go away. We'll come right back.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, let me give you some schedule breakdown here for those of you listening. Coming up next, New Year's resolutions for the Kings, Giants, A's, Niners, Raiders, and we have time sports as a whole. Just real simple, and you're always welcome to participate. 916-339-1140 on the text line. Get in the YouTube chat as well. Just search Sactown Sports. And we'll roll through that, maybe clean up some of the earlier stuff we missed. Been a fun show so far. Sam Amic coming up at 8 o'clock. Matt Barrows, both of The Athletic, coming up at 9. Chris Verlon has 3 for Madness, brought to you by Fire Wings. Chris, question number 1.
Are games like Portland or Boston the worst part of expectations?
I've been trying to do a post-mortem, by the way. Oh, yeah, Jason, by the way, did you catch the shirt today? See?
I did. Sac State, Stingers up.
Trying to.
That's the one the coach brought in, huh?
That is the one the coach brought in. Yes, absolutely. I feel very athletic in it. Excuse me. Yes, Chris, they are, because it's this, in the last 24, 48 hours of trying to recover from these stupid losses. Let's throw Minnesota in there too, which wasn't it wasn't like one of these things is doing his own thing. Like, I get it, but it's still a loss to a team you beat on your home floor. The fact of the matter is, and I said yesterday, is the Kings look at their record is that they knew they could have gone to Seattle, and we had just, we moved the goalposts, and that's part of the game. The Sacramento Kings are 17-12. They're off to a better start than they were last year. They're 11-5 at home. They're just one game below 500. They've won 6 of 10, and they have a number of quality wins. A loss is a loss, regardless of who it's to. A loss is a loss, whether you lose by 1 or you lose by 30. Weirdly enough, the Kings have a negative point differential, just to kind of underline how much they've been blown out. But we are a victim of expectations, because you and I both know, Jason, 2 years ago, if we'd have started out this way, we would have said, oh my God, this is the most crazy thing ever. Well, you do move the goalposts. And I think you do that in all forms of life. If you have kids, you're happy when they take their first steps. But then next thing you know, you're watching them play basketball or running around the house, and there's you slowly try to climb the mountain. And I love the fact that we have expectations for the Kings, but also we become the victim of those expectations sometimes.
We do. And, I don't think we can ever control fan expectations. And I think when you have them, that's fine. And, we're going to have the spectrum when people are too positive and too negative. I'm always curious. I try to go by the organization's expectation. So if that's our blueprint or my blueprint, Dave, they're the ones that have said, and Mike Brown, and I think they should be doing this. Look, we want to be a championship contender. We want to be good to great. So that's them. That's not, hey, it'd be nice just to get in the playoff. Like, that's not really their phrasing. So
Right.
If they're putting that out there, then I think we should think that way. And, the hardest part of all of that is even after that homestand that I thought was pretty tough, they went 4-2. We wanted more. I started to look ahead, and I get guilty of this. I go, oh, man, 7 of the next 9 are against teams below 500. Okay. Like maybe they can, I don't know, go 6 or 7-2 at this stretch. And then you're going, man, they're going to be in really good position. And the first one out of the gate, they lose. You're just like, oh, man, they could still hit those numbers, but it's tough not to start to look ahead based on what they think they can do and what they want to do. And, yeah, all that stemming from expectations, because we get to the expectations because we've seen them do it. We've seen them play well. And we go, yeah, I'm not just wishing on hope. Hey, I hope this is a playoff team that can win 50 games. I think we all believe they're capable of that. And so when they fall short in whether it's a Boston game or a Portland game, you go, well, this isn't the team that I've seen do it before. So that's where it's frustrating.
Question number 2, Christopher Laud.
Question 2.
Would you want Kevin Durant on the Kings if it meant giving up Keegan plus filler plus picks?
Oh, God, I can't believe you're asking
Divided
this
by vibes.
Oh, take out the vibes. No chance of the vibes.
All right. Real quick. And the only reason this is circling around this question is because the reports are Kevin Durant is unhappy in Phoenix. And here we go again. So we'll just do a one-time, hopefully, quick look, because I want people to understand what that would mean. Obviously, they would want Keegan Murray at best. And what I mean by that is if the Suns did decide to trade Kevin Durant, you're hoping that's what they want in the sense of instead of Fox or Sabonis. I looked at it, Jason, and from a Kings point of view, now I'm not advocating this. When I say the best, I mean this is the best case scenario I think the Kings fans could hope for if they acquired Kevin Durant. This is what it would look like. It would most certainly be Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter, and Davion Mitchell. Excuse me. There's about $1.5 million in difference in salary there, and probably 2 or 3 first-round picks. Does that sound in the ballpark? I'm not saying Phoenix would accept it, but I think mathematically that's what it would be. My guess is the post-mortem there, you would have a starting lineup of Fox, Monk, Kevin Durant, I don't know, Trey Lyles, and Domantas Sabonis. So I will just simply ask you this. Is that starting lineup a championship contender to you?
It's really close, yes. Yeah. I mean, it's basically what Phoenix is trying to do, right? In a different form. Like you could say, look, Beal, Booker, and Durant with filler is what they're trying to do. So if you walk down this road and you said Sabonis, Fox, and Durant with filler, and maybe there's a little bit more filler, but maybe not to some, you're going for it.
I hate that whole topic.
Yeah.
Because it's also such an incredible gamble. I've been on this wagon of you got to improve the defense. And it's not like KD is Mr. Defense. He is a 7-footer. But also, he gets injured. He's getting a little up there. You better win a championship if you make things right. You better win a championship. And we all know the thing that really hurts there, no offense to anyone else, the thing that really hurts there, obviously, is Keegan Murray.
Sure.
I don't know that Phoenix would say no to that, Jason.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, I think Durant's paid for 2 more years. If you do it, you're doing it to win a championship this year, next year, or the year after. And that's a 3-year window that honestly seems quick, but that's an eternity in the NBA. But you might be awful after that. And it's like you hope, at the end, if there was one parade, That's one more than they've ever had. So what are your? I would say, Dave, the percentages of winning a championship would be higher with that move, but I don't know how much higher, and I think the risk is way higher too by doing it.
I want to shift on the fly here, Chris. Hit the little sounder there. I'm going to ask question 3. Go ahead.
Okay. Question 3.
All right, let's switch chairs. I'm going to ask this question of you, Jason Ross, and you, Chris Verlaud, based on the conversation we just had. If, let's just say you made a move like that, and the Sacramento Kings won a championship with Kevin Durant, but it meant that you would restart and you would tie your record for playoff futility starting the following year. In other words, you win a championship this year or next, but you're missing the playoffs for the following 16 years. Jason, that would take you into your 80s. Chris, I'm not sure. Do you make that deal?
Yes.
Yes.
I know, right? So do I. It's like not even a thought in my head, but I didn't want to. I thought maybe I was weird. Like, really, did you guys have to think about it?
No.
It's like an automatic, right?
I don't know if the past 16 years is like, I think you framed it to hurt the response. I think it actually helped living through the 16 years going. Also, maybe the 02 years. It's like they were a championship caliber team that never won it, but was so close. Going through the next years was painful. It was awful. So you want one. I mean, I want 10 championships, but you'll take one at this point.
I just want one. It must be a little bit about. It's like how. Yes, maybe it's like how G-Man feels about the if you play the game, like, or drive the game. As the game gets further, you feel like you kind of have to pick one before you run out of time. Like, as we get older, it's like I don't want to be too flippant with the future. Like, at some point, we need to win a championship, Jason.
Yeah, and no matter how you look, we're not. I don't know. We don't live in Denver. We're not Denver Nuggets fans, but forever they've got a championship. Like, I think they'll be good this year. They may never win another one, and they may be good for the next 5 years and compete for them. But they got one, and that run was great, and they'll always have it. And they could have 5 more. They could have none for forever. I don't know, but everybody plays for them. It's really difficult to do it, and to get one would be the best.
It would just, you know what? It would be, Jason, I would take a shot of whiskey if they won one. I'm willing to
I would do that with you.
Would you? Okay, so if the Kings ever win a championship,
I would also do that.
Yeah, on the show. I think, could we have a drunk show? Would we be allowed to have a drunk show?
I think maybe we'd have to be remote in a safe location.
And previously recorded just in case.
Wait, are we not supposed to do drunk shows?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Maybe it's going to be one of those, what is it, ask for forgiveness rather than do the other thing. So,
yeah,
you know that saying. We'll take a break. When we come back, get your New Year's resolutions together before we get to Sam at 8 o'clock. Get your New Year's resolutions for
I want a championship.
Your favorite team. What would you resolve to do? What would you want your team to resolve to do in 2024? Feel free to participate at 1-800-920-1140 on the phone line, 916-339-1140 on the text line, and in the YouTube chat. We will be right back.
The 49ers' final road game of the regular season is Sunday in D.C.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Deebo Samuel.
San Francisco continues its quest for the NFC's top seed. 49ers and Commanders, Sunday at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tiara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday. You're out that door to a soggy start thanks to the rain that fell overnight. Today is looking like a dry day with sun and clouds mixing in, and afternoon highs in the upper 50s to about 60 degrees. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Players know it's not just because you win more. It's because of everything else at Gold Country Casino Resort, where players roll in and winners are made. Winning isn't the only thing on the menu, and nightlife, it's more than entertaining. Drinks and dining options are abundant, and guaranteed to satisfy your innermost desires. Come be our guests and see why Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville is where the players play.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. For a limited time, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, get an additional 20% off in-store clearance appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today because Lowe's knows deals. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 12/28/23 through 1/3/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
Okay, but what about the last of the Dodge Chargers and the Challengers?
This month, save up to $5,000 off MSRP and get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs and Challenger GTs with no payments for 90 days.
The savings and financing won't last long. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factor rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699,991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of eligible First Responder Association only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,000 total net savings after 5,000 dealer discount. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Equals $1,389 per thousand borrowed. 10 of this net savings. See dealer for details.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
In the morning to get your sports fix. Live and local. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
So glad you're with us as we wrap up just 2 more shows this year. Want to remind everybody we are off on Monday. I always say we are off as a station, but then I feel bad because somebody inevitably is doing a show. Chris, Jason, is anyone doing a show on Monday?
No, we've got some fill-in stuff that we're filling some gaps, but yeah, no, everybody's off for Monday.
Okay, so good. Everybody gets the holiday, and and then we'll be back Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll still be down here in SoCal, and then back in studio with all y'all Thursday, and then it's the Jason and Chris show Friday and the following week. So we are very appreciative of you joining all of us as we get into our New Year's resolution part of the show with Sam Amic coming up in about a half an hour. We're going to take some time on this one, Jason, and we'll start with the one that I think we have a lot of ideas, and that is your Sacramento Kings. Feel free to participate yourselves at 1-800-920-1140 and in the YouTube chat. Jason, I've been leading stuff off. Why don't you Brett Butler us? Why don't you Ricky Henderson us and lead this one off there, guy?
All right. For the Kings, and I'm going to label this resolution for them would be, it's kind of vague, but I hope it lands home because I know we just did a pretty interesting exercise on a potential of a Kevin Durant type deal. I'm going to say it this way because I do think what they've gone through last year, which was the goal to make the playoffs, they succeeded, had a decent battle with the Warriors. And now this year with expectations that we just talked about, what they added in the offseason and where they want to get to, it just feels like they're going to make a move. So my resolution, Dave, would be to find the answer. And
Allen Iverson?
Yes. Practice. So by finding the answer, it's open-ended in the fact that, okay, is that a Kevin Durant type trade? And by saying that, that's a third, like another mega star or a star. Or is it, man, they just hit the sweet spot with the answer of a, I don't want to say subtle move, but sometimes a move like Boston when they got Derek White. And you just go, he's a good player. But him on Boston has been amazing.
Yeah.
And so can they find, getting Trey Lyles when he was here? You're like, yeah, Trey Lyles, okay. And it was really more like Josh Jackson and the other moves that they made. But now all of a sudden Trey Lyles is a nice piece for this team. So there's a lot of different roads they can go. They could move someone as high profile as potentially like a Keegan Murray in a bigger move, or do they mortgage future picks? But I just go with find the answer that they're looking for. And again, now the answer is so open, Dave, where that's, to some people, that's defense. Need a defensive guy. That's the stopper. That's what they've got to get. Maybe. It's another playmaker, a distributor, someone to help them offensively, or when they go in lulls to get some shots to fall. Maybe it's a rim protector. I just think there's so many different ways they can go. So it's very open-ended, but I feel like for the front office that they find the answer to help them to get to where they want to go.
Well, I think that's perfect, and that perfectly leads into where I'm going to come from. We're on similar paths, and I'm going to take it a little bit of a step further. My resolution as a Kings fan is going to be to walk the walk that I tend to talk. And I'm very vocal about it. I'm a big fan of Monty McNair and Wes Wilcox and that whole front office. And when you look back at when they came in post Vlade, the state of the team, this was is De'Aaron Fox the guy? There were many here locally, myself included, that asked that question quite vocally. One of my first, and I don't think, there's off record, on record, I don't think he'd mind me sharing this. One of my first conversations with Monty, 6 months into his tenure, down at his office, and he had a whiteboard up in front of him. I'll never forget this. And I just literally came out. I was like, look, I got to ask you, is De'Aaron Fox the future of this team? I mean, is that something and Monty, in a very, normally he's very guarded, but he got so demonstrative, at least for him. He almost popped out of the puffy vest and just laid out like this whole court case as to like, we had no idea what De'Aaron Fox's career was going to entail and how good he could still be beyond what he was, how all the metrics showed it. Like, it wasn't just, well, I think De'Aaron's going to be good. It was like, no, dude, De'Aaron Fox is an MVP candidate, like, for real. He is the cornerstone of this team. We're not trading him pretty much for anyone. And here's why. And I remember thinking, wow, this is a new regime here. My resolution is going to be to trust that more than he has. I won't say single-handedly, but he has been the driving force.
And you're saying you trust it, or like the Royal, all of us?
I think all of us should. I'm just using myself as the example. Okay. But when you look at Monty's record, when you look at the fact that not only did he draft Tyrese Halliburton, but had the balls to trade him. And look, there's a lot of future left, but we're into year 2.5 now of that trade. And hey, look, the Pacers are 15-14. They had a nice run in the Cup, but the Sacramento Kings were the story of the NBA last year, and they're currently nicely back in the playoffs. 5 games above 500 and building. I would say this team is further along than the Pacers. When you look at, you mentioned Trey Lyles.
Yeah.
When you look at the moves, they haven't all been great. Davion Mitchell over Alperen Şengün and others. You can always go back and nitpick, but the bottom line is that front office. Oh yeah, hiring Mike Brown. That front office has really completely turned the culture and the way this franchise is on its ear compared to before. And I need to do better at trusting that. Is he going to make a move this year? I think so. But if he doesn't, I need to trust that it's because there weren't great moves out there. It's one of those, in Monty we trust, I know it's tough to kind of have blind loyalty, but I think that front office has earned a lot of loyalty and a lot of trust from this fan base.
Yeah, and I would say last year honestly felt like, I know everybody wanted them to make a move, or they were thinking they should make a move because everyone else was at the deadline. But I feel like it did make some sense looking back on it that they didn't. Now that we've got a little bit more of a resume under all of this group, unless they change things in the next month as far as more consistency on the court, it feels to me, Dave, like they need to. Like, it didn't feel like I think we wanted them to last year. I feel like they need to this year.
I agree with you, and I think some things have changed. Whereas last year you couldn't trade Harrison Barnes. He was the heart and soul, the veteran, the calming presence, and we all love him. But now, look, you had two guys that finished top 10 in MVP voting. You had two all-stars, two all-NBA first, second, third team style players. I don't think they need their hands held anymore. I think now you just have an evolution of maturity with this team. It's a different team now than it was a year before. But at the same time, Jason, if we're sitting here at the end of the year and the Kings are a number 1, number 2, number 3 seed, and we look back and it was Mike Brown and the coaching staff purposely dialing back the offense to slam home some defensive principles, and it starts paying off later in the year when the Kings win 12 of 15 and they're playing amazing team defense and the offense wakes back up, and we're talking to Monty McNair and he's saying we knew the shots would fall. We knew Kevin Huerter wasn't going to be bricking all year. We knew Harrison Barnes would show up. Like, the offense was always going to be there, but we really wanted to challenge these guys on the defensive level, and there were learning curves and there were baby steps and they fell down, but in the end we're a better team now because we stayed disciplined rather than panicking and just going back to offense and no defense in a certain first or second round exit. I believe that's a storybook ending I can actually believe that's realistic. I just need to trust them more.
Yeah, and we got a couple, let's see, from the YouTube. I know it wouldn't happen, but let's trade for Bridges on the Nets. I think that he would be the perfect player. Again, I don't think that would happen. That's from them.
And they're right.
Yeah.
In all aspects, I don't think it would happen. But yes, if you're looking for the player that would be that Aaron Gordon type, the player that would elevate this team to a championship contender, yes, Mikal Bridges would 100% be that.
And the text line says, get Marcus Smart. He'd help. He'd help a lot.
That's another player. Look, if you can get either of those players without giving up your core 3, maybe even core 4 if you're counting Monk, if there's an opportunity to do that and sacrifice draft picks on top of it, you damn right you do that. Other GMs get paid too, right, Jason?
Very true.
All right. We will take a break. Had an idea that the Kings would take up the bulk of that segment, but we're going to continue with our resolutions. Just a 2-minute break here. When we come back, we still have to get to the Giants, the A's, the Niners, maybe even the Raiders, sports as a whole. New Year's resolutions for our teams right here on Sactown Sports. We're right back.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big ol' nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Bonnie Plumbing, Electric Heating and Air.
This is Jeff Scott. Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now there are medicines that can treat COVID whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach. and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words: made in America. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. The majority of steel products sold in America are made in America of U.S. and foreign materials. Batteries and chargers are sourced internationally.
It's my favorite time of the year. Folsom Lake Ford's year-end sell-a-thon with the low finance rates, special year-end savings, and 0 down deals with approved credit. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters for over 30 years.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Before we get into these New Year's resolutions as we continue here on Sactown Sports, guys, I'm very excited to, maybe it'll be Thursday, maybe it'll be in, apparently lawns are getting mowed behind me, so apologies for that buzzing you might hear. I got my kid one of those VR headset thingies. That was his big Christmas present.
This is great.
And I downloaded, I think I've used it more than him so far. I usually get like kind of dizzy. But this one for some reason doesn't do it to me. And I downloaded.
Your caller Steven said that would be the case.
Yes, he did. Thank you for remembering that. You're 100% right, and he was absolutely correct. So I downloaded this golf game, and it's got like Pebble Beach, St. Andrews. Like the graphics are still video gamey. It's not like real reality, but guys, you can like feel the ball hit when you hit it. And I'm telling you, dude, it is so absolutely fun. And you look so stupid when you're wearing it. But I'm really excited about bringing it in and us playing a quick round of golf, guys.
I'm in.
You in?
Yeah.
Chris, have you ever played golf?
Yes.
Have we ever played golf?
No.
We didn't play golf like back in the day once?
No, I think I gave up golf in 2013. And I started golf in 2013.
That makes sense. 1-800-920-1140. Maybe that'll be a resolution for Chris as he ascends towards
starts
the
back up.
Get back into golf. Tin is on the phone. Tin, you've got a New Year's resolution for us. Go ahead. Good morning.
For the Kings is good morning and the Kings. So I think more paint presence into the new year. And what I mean by that is like, not just the centers, the forwards, but, guard too, dear, and don't let the guy drive in, dunking on you, getting a layup. That's like in football, scoring on the 1 yard line. It's really easy. But when you can get that goal line stop, defend, every yard counts. That will, you can live with that if they make the outside shots. But when they're just attacking you inside, you just feel defenseless and bullied. And that just cannot happen. Sabonis, it's up to him to set that tone because he's one of the top big men in the league. So he already has that reputation. So that's my resolution for the Kings is up that paint presence.
Okay. I think a lot of people could agree. I don't know if Sabonis is ultimately the answer there. As I like to say, you can't ask a cat to bark. You can't ask a dog to meow. You can ask them. They may not do it.
Yeah.
But thank you for the call, Tin. 1-800-920-1140. And get in the YouTube chat as well, or text us up at 916-339-1140. Jason, the San Francisco Giants. What's a good resolution for them?
For me, I think the Giants' resolution would be, I'd like to see this. Look, I think they hired a really good manager in Bob Melvin. So I'd like to see them and Bob Melvin have a run like he did with the Oakland A's. And that was, 10, 11 years of success. I mean, they had some tough years in there, but he had some tough circumstances against him. But a lot of people thought that wasn't the problem, not his managing. So a run like he had in Oakland with a good manager now in the National League, supported from the front office. They made the playoffs. I think his first full year as an A's manager, they won 90-something games. So that'd be a really good resolution for the Giants. I know they didn't get all the players they wanted, but you still have a good manager, and that would be my resolution for them. A Bob Melvin A's type run for the Giants.
Yeah, I actually think you're going to get your wish. I think Bob Melvin he's a Bay Area dude, man, and I know A's fans are nodding their head, and I'm not indifferent to what A's fans are going through and seeing their team eventually moving to Vegas and the whole fiasco that is, and then trying to feel good about Bob Melvin with the stupid Giants. Like I just want them to know I'm not indifferent. I'm not indifferent to that. Also, there are strong rumors, and I'm kind of out, as I've said, on the Giants and baseball lately, but it's like watching your ex-girlfriend or something. You still kind of keep an eye out. There are a lot of rumors that they're sniffing around Matt Chapman. And Jason, I know you and I enjoyed him very much when he was with the A's. I love that move. I think he is, he's the closest thing I've seen defensively. He just reminds me a lot of Matt Williams. We've talked about that before. Matt, of course, a longtime Giant. I think that'd be a perfect fit for him, bring him back home to the Bay Area. If I had to make a resolution, though, as a Giants fan, I don't have any confidence in Farhan Zaidi. I've been very vocal about that. He's had 5 years. They had the one outlier where everything went right. They won 107 games. Other than that, they haven't finished above third place in the West. They miss out on every free agent. The minor league system is middling at best. It's not all bad. There are some signs of some young guys coming up, some young guys in the bullpen, if you will, ready to come up and shine. But that's a lot of if. He just does not strike me as the guy. He strikes me as the guy behind the guy. It's like I wouldn't want Parag Marathe to be the GM of the 49ers. That's, John Lynch is the GM of the 49ers, but Parag Marathe is an absolute genius behind the scenes in handling not just the stuff for the Niners, but now the president for the Leeds Football Club over in England. Same thing with Zaidi. I don't deny that he's smart, incredibly intelligent, has a very keen baseball mind. I just don't know if he's a major league general manager. So for me, Jason, I would say let's move on from the GM at some point, even though they just re-upped him. And hey, while you're at it, how about sell the team? Because I absolutely can't stand Giants ownership whatsoever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, just terrible ownership. Now, how about the A's, Jason?
Huh.
Yeah.
I'll look, the obvious one obviously is a miracle that they stay. If I try to go with, I'm going to go with this one, Dave, that the fans, the people that still have supported them, I hope they find some wins and not the proverbial win, like, hey, win, loss, some wins in this year or next year, whatever's left of the Oakland A's. And that could mean as simple as, hey, I took my family one last time and we had a great time at the Oakland Coliseum. I don't know what that means to anybody specifically, but I hope maybe they find a way that they keep the name somehow. I know that doesn't sound like they're going to, but whatever. Or they get a hint that baseball might try to get an expansion team back in Oakland. I don't know, but I hope that whatever is left of Oakland A's baseball, and certainly the Oakland A fans, I know deserve far better than this, but I hope they find their own personal wins this year.
I'm stuck between trying to channel my inner Kings relocation fan, between wanting A's fans to just create absolute, and this is instinctually where I want them to go, absolute chaos next year, to picket every entrance to the Coliseum, to show up to nothing, to going after every single sponsor that you see in the outfield, every single sponsor. If you sponsor the A's fans are going to band together and blow up your social media. They're going to pick it outside your business. They're going to actively go after every single revenue stream that they can touch. And obviously the big one is that they can't touch is baseball and rev share and all that stuff. But part of me wants them to just, you know what, you're going to hurt us, we're going to hurt you type of mentality. But the part that holds me back, Jason, and you kind of mentioned it, you also want to make sure that you don't permanently burn the bridge with baseball,
right,
to get an expansion team back. That being said, I don't think Oakland's getting an expansion team in anyone's lifetime. I don't think that's something they should worry about. And ultimately, if baseball wants to hold it against them for the way things have been handled. And by the way, I also think A's fans really need to start a contingent, if they haven't already, in Las Vegas, and go after those Las Vegas advertisers too. Just make, and let me be clear here, because in this day and age, and you have to say it, it goes without saying, I'm not talking about violence. I'm not talking about crimes. I'm not talking about doing anything outside the law. But within those parameters and following the rules, just make John Fisher's life miserable. Make it hurt him in the pocketbook and in the ego as much as you possibly can. Because until they're in Vegas, they ain't in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Until they're in Vegas. I'm not trying to say they can stay in Oakland, but until they're in Vegas, they're not in Vegas. And I still hold out that first and goal at the one that something somewhere can be done. But it's a tough time for A's fans, man.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel for them, for 100% for the fans. I really do.
We'll take a break. When we come back, don't forget Matt Barrows, Niners at 9. That's in 1 hour. But coming up next, Sam Amic making his holiday appearance on the program. We will talk Kings. We will talk NBA. We'll talk Kevin Durant, of course, and so much more. Sam Amic from The Athletic on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday. You're out that door to a soggy start thanks to the rain that fell overnight. Today is looking like a dry day with sun and clouds mixing in, and afternoon highs in the upper 50s to about 60 degrees. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emron Plotty, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by E.B. Stone. E.B. Stone for the life of your garden. The 49ers Christmas was ruined Monday night, dropping their first game in 6 weeks, 33-19 to Baltimore. Quarterback Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions in the game, the most for any 49ers gunslinger since Colin Kaepernick in 2015. The Red and Gold still control their own destiny in the NFC playoff standings, looking to get back on track New Year's Eve against Washington.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, E.B. Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with E.B. Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. E.B. Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust E.B. Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing green.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTK-AM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
All right, welcome in. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Christopher Laud, Sam Amic will join us momentarily. I was texting with him earlier, so I know he is up and around. Although it's still the holidays, Jason. Is Sam still in the garage, or is he back in his palatial home studio? We will find out immediately, and it looks like he is back. He is allowed back in his house. He is not cold. Sans treadmill or bike or whatever that normally is behind him. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, gentlemen.
The hair looks nice.
Yeah, appreciate you. We just awake. We getting the rust off here. Where are you at, Dave?
I am in Southern California for the week. I'm going to be off the week after next, so I'm doing the best to work through the holidays. But, what are you going to do?
So
right?
When I have to switch it up, I'm surrounded by wrenches and screwdrivers. And when you switch it up, you're on a Trump golf course somewhere.
Yeah, that is a golf course behind me. But the good news is, Sam, look at this. This is 2/3 of the show right now with the stingers up. And the funny thing is, the one guy not representing is the longtime voice of Sac State football. What's going on? Jason.
Ross, what do you have to say for yourself, man?
Yeah.
This wasn't coming in very clearly. Did you say something, Dave?
Yes.
Stingers up is what I have to say.
Well, I hope you had a good Christmas, Sam. I saw you change the profile picture on Facebook to your beautiful family. I'm sure you enjoyed the present opening as much as the rest of us did. And now we're on to the National Basketball Association, where we'll turn to you for guidance, Sam, as you rub you the sleep out of your eyes and take the glasses off to mean
See,
you
man,
mean
this
business.
YouTube thing. I used to be able to get away with this.
Well, we're all trying to rub these losses out, man. That sounds weird. With the Celtics, the Blazers out of nowhere. You're the national basketball writer. How the hell do you answer the Kings just being weird on these nights out of nowhere?
Yeah, they. I saw something the other day after the Blazers loss. Tom Ziller, who writes about the whole league, but longtime Kings voice on Substack now, called them the most frustrating 17 and 11 team in league history.
Yeah.
I've seen, we've talked about it before, all the lopsided losses, and then a pretty fair amount of quality wins. This one was wild because obviously the Blazers were down a couple of big time guys. I was joking with my nephew Jackson over the holiday that I covered the NBA and I had never heard of the rookie who dropped 25 on the Kings.
Join the club.
Yeah, this guy Reith, fitting holiday name, was just dropping threes, like crazy. And I think they averaged 108 coming into the game, and they let them get 130. So if nothing else, it's always hard to talk about what it leads to, but like we keep saying, like I've said for a while, is if this team wants to contend, I think they got to be pretty open to significant moves at the trade deadline. That was the type of loss that to me is like, all right, now and if something's not there, you can't force it. So it doesn't mean something's definitely going to happen. But as far as like the ceiling or, on this team, I thought that was a pretty bad sign.
Yeah, and Sammy, in the history of maybe deals that are made around the league, when I don't know if the right term is if you're desperate, maybe you give up more than you should, or you're just going to move because you got to change things. I don't know that the Kings want to do that, but I also feel like there is, from the fan base, maybe from their own watching of this team, of the frustration, maybe that need to move. You feel like it'll force isn't the right word, but maybe it'll guarantee that they make a move, whether it's a big splash or another one. It just feels like that's something that is imminent now with the squad.
It does, but again, I just keep, I'm excited for it to get closer to the deadline so that we can have more names surface. Because I'll be honest, when I wrote that thing a couple of weeks ago about the Kings, it was about Zach LaVine, but eventually it talked about the Kings. There was a guy in the comment section, and I didn't love the comment, but he was probably right, where he was making fun of NBA writers for analyzing the same 5 names, for the last couple months. Now, part of that is that some of the other ones that are in play, we just haven't gotten to yet. And I think, we'll probably learn more closer to the deadline. The one that, that gets recycled all the time is OG Anunoby. If you talk about somebody who could be a game changer defensively. And as I wrote, I don't see them doing that because I don't think they want to pay him, 30 something million, damn near 40 million a year in free agency next year. So who is that guy? Matisse Thybulle, I think, would be more than happy to leave Portland. I think he's looking for a new spot. I know they want shooting. I know they want balance on both ends of the floor. Is that a guy that you look at? But they got to do something defensively.
Yeah, and you look at the names, and I don't mean this to suggest that he would be on the block, but Mikal Bridges we've been talking about, just in the sense of the prototypical perfect, air quotes, perfect addition to this Kings roster, a guy that is tremendous. And I agree with you on Thybulle, by the way, who's not going to shoot you into games, but plays all world defense. And everybody chill. I've spoken in the past about how a healthy and engaged Ben Simmons would be that type would be a tremendous help. But as you just said, Sam, we recycle names because that's who's there. It's just tough to figure out, and you know this better than anyone, somebody who it inevitably ends up, doesn't it, every year being someone or someone's that nobody thought was available in December that ends up getting traded in February.
It is. I'm trying to think who that was last year. Maybe I should have set the alarm clock for more than 3 minutes before.
You're pounding that coffee though, bro.
Oh, I haven't even touched the coffee yet. That's the problem. Now I'm just getting creeped out by those eyes on Jason's laptop staring at me.
That's Nick Cage,
It's a
dude.
Nick Cage pillow.
Nice. Oh, wow. I thought it was a laptop.
Oh.
Impressive. Wow. That is
Face off. See, Sam? It's real.
Well, I don't want to leave the audience. I'm tempted to go grab one of the gifts I got for the family since we had our dog moment last year or last week. We have a new willow pillow covered it with dog faces. So, we got our own version of that, buddy. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Lauri Markkanen obviously came up in the news recently. He's a very good player. I mean, you mentioned a guy like Bridges. Like, sure, yeah, great. He'd fit in. Like, you're definitely losing Keegan Murray in that deal. You're definitely losing, multiple picks in that deal. And that's where for the Kings, it's the downside of being somewhat in love with their core is that all you're really willing to give up, and this is me talking educated analysis, I guess, is, a Harrison Barnes. And I think, certainly that Kevin Huerter could be got. But beyond that, the word has been, you're not touching Fox, Sabonis, and Murray. Monk is an interesting one because they love him. But to me, I have argued that if you pick up one of these guys who's going to cost you a pretty penny this summer, then then Monk could end up be part of that, in my opinion, because you can end up paying, 4 guys big time money.
Sure.
So we'll see. I don't know who the guy is, but I think we all agree that they need something here.
We're talking with Sam Amic from The Athletic. Sam, I don't know if this is too much of a generality or a blanket statement, but I'm curious in just the trade principles. We know that Utah, OKC in the last couple of years, I mean, their goal was just to get picks. They were looking for draft assets in the future. Do you get an idea? Are people trying to trade more to relieve money for a free agent summer or more towards draft picks for the upcoming drafts? Is there a generality there, kind of philosophies from league wide?
No, I think the trend though would be toward picks just because the cost of doing business in free agency has never been higher. And the cost efficiency of a rookie scale contract obviously is more than ever if you talk about ROI, if you will. So I think that, the value on the pick side is tremendous. But at the same time with this new CBA, and I don't have the entire landscape right in front of me, but the teams that are up against not even just the second apron, but maybe the first apron in terms of luxury tax, you could find teams that are very incentivized to get out of whatever danger zone they might be in as far as their books, because this has become a league that is feeling unofficially hard capped at the second apron. To me, it's a little balanced, but those picks matter a lot. Especially, teams that have built around, 1 or 2 or even 3 high paid players that are trying to supplement around that. I mean, you got to do it with rookie scale deals.
That's interesting, Sam. Just a quick follow up on that. I did wonder after last year where you had that rush of picks in the Donovan Mitchell deal and the Rudy Gobert deal, just an insane amount of picks going somewhere. If that would lead to a long-term slowdown on value of picks. You're saying that it's kind of the opposite, that they're becoming more of a premium.
That's how I see it for sure. I mean, I mentioned Keegan a minute ago.
Yeah.
Like, you got a guy on a rookie scale deal. And listen, these rookie scale deals they've never been better. Keegan's making good money, but at the same, he's giving you 47 points in a game a couple of weeks ago on a rookie scale deal. Like that's $30 million a year performance. So yeah, I mean, with the cap having skyrocketed like it has in the last 10 years, I do think that those picks still hold tremendous value. I mean, the Gobert deal was not totally an outlier, but it was pretty much, pretty close to being an outlier. You had a GM and Tim Conley, who was for the Timberwolves, who was incredibly incentivized make a splash and to, I mean, we all know the story there. So, and it's working out better now than it looked like it was last year. So that many picks is the outlier, but I still think they have a lot of value.
Sam, is there anything really to this, whatever's going on with Kevin Durant in Phoenix? Is there even a story there?
Yeah, I think it's worth monitoring. I think it's just the age-old calculus between expectation and results. And so the Suns are coming in way short of that. Frustration that I'm sure Kevin is understanding of for a while, which is the injury situation with Bradley Beal and then, Devin Booker being out a bit. But you're seeing, I think, to me, the second layer to it is that the way they went and got Kevin from Brooklyn with Matt Ishbia coming in and 5 minutes after buying the team saying, we're going to make a splash, they gave up so much of their assets that they had to scrounge with minimum deals to surround these guys. And I think they're paying a price for it. I'm sure you guys saw the clip where the audio got picked up with Devin Booker getting on. I think it was
Chimezie Metu. Yep.
Yeah, former King, where it's like two guys that probably don't know each other very well, and Devin is frustrated as well with what's going on, and he gets on Chimezie because he didn't run back. It was nothing crazy, but like it shows you that the vibe is not great between stars and role players, and if you're Kevin, you're talking about I don't know 3-4 years running now where he's been carrying a pretty significant load for whichever team he's on. And, and really getting let down by the people around him, which I know Warriors fans would argue, okay, you never should have left. And that's fine to have that opinion. But, from Kyrie Irving not wanting to take the shot to, James Harden deciding after that he wanted out, to now mostly just injury stuff with guys that he was excited to play for, and then Father Time coming into play, right? Like Kevin's looking around going, man, I'm still playing at an MVP caliber level, but it's for a team that is fighting to go under 500.
Sam Amic of The Athletic joining us. Sam, I am fascinated by this Mark Cuban thing in Dallas. I really am. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, when this deal was originally announced, it very much sounded like he was just picking up a couple Billy and was going to, it was status quo. He's going to continue to run the franchise and be the guy. And then you hear as part of the approval yesterday when that came out that one of the partners now that has majority is going to have final say. And Cuban said that. And look, I'm no Mark Cuban expert, but you combine that with his Shark Tank departure, it just seems incredibly weird to me that Mark Cuban would just all of a sudden, that was his baby. It still seems like it's his baby. It's his whole life. And I don't buy this running for president thing either.
Right.
My conspiracy theory, and I know I'm wrong here, but my conspiracy theory is, we're not that far removed from all those reports within the Mavericks organization of how it was run and all the things that were happening. And maybe Adam Silver, this is the old David Stern, Michael Jordan gambling thing, but maybe Silver stepping in and saying, you can leave or we can make you leave. But do you have any insight as to what Cuban's thinking with this?
I wish I had more. I have not heard the kind of heat that you're talking about of the league coming down on him quietly behind the scenes for the workplace misconduct stuff that he wasn't obviously personally involved in, but it was his culture, his company.
Yeah.
That I haven't heard. I don't think that's the case. Like you alluded to, the presidency thing, he has actually denied. So take that off the table. From there, it was interesting a while back before this news broke that I saw an interview where he was analyzing the league's forthcoming rights deal agreement. And he shared that while he was confident that they would do really well in this negotiation, he kind of detailed the many reasons that he thought they might be in trouble in the next negotiation. And he was getting into the weeds about the streaming platforms and the kind of dilution of content, if that makes any sense. And just the idea that the NBA was going to fight for, that they were going to have a really, really hard time in the next round of negotiations. So that has been on my radar just in terms of a businessman deciding to get out, while he's ahead. If he thinks that the numbers are going to go the other way, because he also highlighted the fact, sorry, Dave, real quick, that, that it wasn't that long ago that owners would have a hard time selling teams, that the numbers were not what they are. So for me, that's about as good as I can do in terms of breaking it down is that he thinks that the number is going to go south if he doesn't get out now.
And just a quick follow-up on that. And Sam Amic and Carmichael Dave aren't going to outsmart Mark Cuban on this. Of course, he's privy to information
Let's
we
give
have.
it a shot. We can do it.
But let's give it a shot. I find that impossible to believe, and I'll tell you why. You and I both know, all three of us do, that the timeline for the NBA has always been collective bargaining agreement, done. Next up is going to be the television rights. And not to get too deep in the weeds of the business of the NBA, but MLS locked up Apple 10 years. NFL locked up for the next few years. College football and that whole crazy landscape, but a lot of them locked up. Everything is locked up. And what we've seen time and time again in this world of streaming and DVR is that sponsors have more of a value placed on sports than any other type of programming. Because you don't fast forward through the ads. People don't like to watch sports on DVR. They like to watch them live. It's the best case scenario for sponsors, knowing that their messages, and oh, by the way, you can throw live reads in. You can throw live. I mean, this is, again, deep in the weeds. You can throw commercials in during gameplay. You can't be sitting there, watching General Hospital and Marcia turns to Brad and says, oh, by the way, brought to you by Schick Razors. Like, that's not going to work. It's a very unique property, and the NBA is the one that has the availability. So all signs point to an absolute record-smashing deal for the NBA. And then, Sam, on top of that, the next part of the timeline, and again, correct me if I'm wrong here, Vegas and Seattle almost certainly expansion. You're hearing numbers around $5 billion. It is impossible for me to believe, Sam, that an NBA franchise today is going to sell for anything approaching what it would sell for in 3 to 4 years. Plus, you get that expansion push. It just seems like a weird time to get out.
I'm with you. Like you said, admittedly, at times, I wish, I've got a good understanding of the sports business side, but I'm not a TV industry expert by any means. I'm just not. Like the in-season tournament, for example, I thought basketball-wise, league-wise, it was a success. And then, Ethan Strauss, who's a longtime basketball writer, had a pretty good piece being critical of why it wasn't a success. And part of it was the streaming platform discussion that I'm still learning about. So that's all of which is to say that, I think you're probably right. From there, if we're going to grasp at straws to understand what Mark is doing, the only other one that does come to mind is that, the Adelson family that he sold it to, they now essentially have plans, it sounds like, to build up pretty drastically all around the Mavericks arena. And, you're talking casinos and hotels and the idea that, that you're missing the macro, if you're just looking at the transaction of the basketball team, that this is now going to lead to a greater investment in the, beyond the team itself that might counterbalance everything that Mark might have missed out on if he had held on to the team. I don't know what those numbers look like, but seems like that whole entire area of downtown Dallas is about to get a massive boost that he's going to be taking a big part in. So maybe those numbers check out, and beyond that, you've got Mark's always, he's an incredibly successful guy. He's also not a young guy. Maybe he just looked around and said, it's time to do something different where I can keep my hand in the team. And the whole final say thing, that will be very interesting. That's my interest, is for basketball purposes, if Mark has a trade he wants to do and they just don't want to approve it, is that how it goes down, or is he still running the team? That part will be interesting.
Sam, I know we're coming up against the break here, but I wanted to ask you about Draymond. I know there were some reports, 11, 12 games, something like that. We don't know officially. What are you hearing about Draymond's return?
Yeah, it seems like it's in that. I don't know how many games we're at now.
I think it's 7 or 8 right now.
Yeah, I mean they play tonight. They play Saturday, so it's quickly coming up on 10. I think it's an early January type of thing. There's been reports, obviously, of counseling and routine check-ins with NBA officials. I fully expect cooperation on Draymond's side. It's funny, again, during the holidays, one of my nephews asked if he could buy a ticket and just go sit at the game and like bend the rules. And it was like, well, no, that's not, it's in his best interest to do exactly what they want him to do right now. So he's, by all accounts, not pushing back and just playing along here. So we'll see. We've talked before about the unique style of kind of discipline that the league put out here. I'm still a little bit torn about it. I know he's been off the tracks lately. This Mr. Rogers self-help approach is a little much for me, just because I think there's no evidence of off-court major issues. It's just a guy who is a pretty fierce and at times out of control competitor. So I think he'll be back pretty soon.
Imagine Lambier, Rick Mahorn, Charles Oakley going to counseling.
Sam, that's not obviously. I mean, I'm pro counseling. It's just the subject and the person, to my knowledge, was not running around saying, "Yeah, you're right. I need counseling." Like he's doing what they're, kind of making him do, so that he can get back on the court.
I am with you as somebody who's been in counseling quite a few times in many different forms. I'm just imagining what a great documentary that would be. When Nurkic did that thing, how did that make you feel, Draymond? By the way, I can tell you,
we always go to it's not always actually a couch, but like, and Draymond's got such a great personality. I would love to see, like, he hits the couch and it's this new person who's never spoken to before, and he's like, "All right, bro," or a woman, "All right, what how are you today? What are we getting into?"
I can break news for you, by the way, if you'd like. Draymond Green will return January 25th for the home game versus the Sacramento Kings. That's just how it's going to go. That's what's going to happen.
I thought you were serious for a minute. I was like, man, I'm slipping over here.
Nope. The only news I can give you as we wrap up, based on our conversation, certainly not unexpected, but with the deadline looming in 3 days, Mark Lowry and Alex Rodriguez are going to exercise their option and buy the rest of the Timberwolves. So
I bet they want this team now. They look pretty good.
Telling you, man. All right. Well, look, appreciate everything you've done for us and with us throughout the year. Enjoy your new year. And next week, we fully expect to see the dog pillow.
Of course. And then maybe the garage. I think we should mix it up.
Oh, you going to be kicked out again?
I'm just saying, it was a good look.
It's a very nice.
Guys, Happy New Year.
All right. Thank you, sir. Happy New Year to you. That is Sam Amic. We will take a break. When we come back, still a lot to get to. Don't forget, by the way, Matt Barrows will join us for Niners at 9. We've got 4 down territory coming up. We'll continue to look back on the year that was. Hopefully try to put a smile on your face, which would be the opposite of the frowns in the backyard, the shape of your doggy's poops. If your doggy isn't chowing down on Supreme Source Super Premium dog food, bark, bark. 6 interchangeable recipes, 100% complete balanced nutrition for all stages of doggy life. They are the fastest growing premium dog food in the country for a reason. Family owned and operated since 1972. Who are the shareholders? They're the dogs. That's right. It's privately owned. So you're not messing with the quality just to save a couple of coins. No corn, no wheat, no soy. All of this helps support healthy digestion, helps maintain intestinal health, boosts the immune system. What does that mean? Better health. Your dog's going to live longer. That's the goal, isn't it? Where can you find it? A grocery store near you. Safeway, Save Mart, Smart and Final, Winco. Learn more at SupremeSourcePet.com. That is Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food. Bark, bark. Do more for your puppy's tummy. Then rub it. We'll take a break. When we come back, 4 down territory next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center. It's Thursday. You're out that door to a soggy start thanks to the rain that fell overnight. Today is looking like a dry day with sun and clouds mixing in, and afternoon highs in the upper 50s to about 60 degrees. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Right now, the sewer system is probably the last thing on your mind. And that's okay, because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. If you have a sewer problem like a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Knee, foot, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
It's my favorite time of the year. Folsom Lake Ford's year-end sell-a-thon with the low finance rates, special year-end savings, and zero down deals with approved credit. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters for over 30 years.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Black and and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Welcome back. Our thanks to Sam Amic for joining us. Another edition of Thank God our group text doesn't go public. I am Carmichael Dave. That is Jason Ross, Christopher Laud behind the glass, taking you all the way to 10 a.m. You know, back in the day, Jason, not that long ago, did this happen in the last year or has it been longer? Has it been a year since we went to 4 hours?
No, not quite. Pretty soon, though. I think it was the first of the year, February, maybe.
It was.
Yeah. Well,
February?
When?
Was it February?
No, remember
actually,
we had that weird hybrid for a while.
Maybe even February.
Remember where you did 6 to 9?
Oh God, yeah, I remember.
No,
yeah,
6
I
to
remember.
10, and I was 7 to 11.
That's right. Oh God, that was so weird.
It was weird.
Hey, real quick, I won't say who sent us this, but we just got a note from somebody in the know. Not in the know. Well, yeah, they're in the know, but this isn't like
January 23rd.
How do you even get that?
Because I looked up the old shows.
Oh wow, look at you. What do you think about Andrew Wiggins on this team? Think about Andrew Wiggins as a king. Is that something that excites you at all? Okay, is it just me, or does Andrew Wiggins seem like a younger Harrison Barnes? Is that a bad comparison? It might be a bad. I just feel like he's kind of a younger Harrison Barnes. Like, he's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
He's obviously talented, but also like disappears at times.
Yeah, I don't, and maybe if he didn't have his time with the Warriors, like his better time with the Warriors, I remember when he was being talked about more, and I was not remotely interested in him. But seeing him with the Warriors was better. I thought he had, I don't know, that group of Minnesota Timberwolves really, when it was Towns and him and Russell, I just felt like he had 3 talented players with a lack of motor.
And that's the thing. $25-ish million for another 4 years, to be honest with you, is actually
terrible.
No, that's actually honestly less than what I thought he was making, to be honest.
Isn't that amazing?
He's having not a great year at all, but it doesn't seem like he's having a bad year for lack of talent or whatever. It seems like he's having a bad year because there's just something going on. If you look at what he's done with the Warriors, he's averaged, around 18 points, 5 boards. This is a guy that is going to shoot high 30s generally from behind the arc. And by the way, has also shown signs of playing some pretty strong defense. He's not a defensive liability. I just need to know what's going on with him, though, before you even entertain that. What I mean is we try to stay out of personal lives, but you may remember last year, Wiggins, there was something, and maybe it came out and I missed it, but there was something going on with him. He missed a bunch of games.
Yeah.
I thought it was a family member maybe or something. And I just wonder if that's still part of the deal. Anyways, just a thought. In the meantime, we got to go here. That's my fault. We got to move on. 4 down territory starts right now. Christopher Lloyd, first down, please.
The Jets and Browns play the final Thursday night game of the season. Who you got?
A headache. I don't know. It's all that's on tonight, so you're going to watch it. I'll take the Browns. The Jets just seem to be, I don't want to say they're checking out, but I'm not seeing anything from them that excites me. The Browns still have a lot to play for. I'm going to go with the Cleveland football Browns in this one.
Joe Flacco, baby. Yeah, Cleveland. I didn't realize this. I was looking them up today. 7-1 at home.
Yeah.
How about that? So they're at home tonight, play the Jets. Browns have far more to play for. They're 10-5 now. And talk about a great coaching job. They've played 4 different quarterbacks And it started 4 different quarterbacks, and they're 10-5.
And Flacco has 300 yards.
I know. It's like he's found a new career all of a sudden here with the Browns when he was not even in the league for a while. So, yeah, I'm taking the Browns tonight.
All right, second down, please.
Are you disappointed that Aaron Rodgers didn't come back to play this season?
Okay, so as a fan and as somebody who loves sports, I'm disappointed in the sense that would have been a cool story. It would have been something to cover. It would have been an amazing comeback. So in that sense, just from an entertainment standpoint, sure, it would have been more. Let's put it this way. Imagine if Aaron Rodgers was making his first start of the season tonight against the Browns, we'd be glued to the television. It would be must-see TV. So yes, I'm upset from that point of view. But I completely understand it. It would have been stupid to bring him back. So disappointed, yes. Do I understand it? 100,000%.
Yeah, I was more surprised all along the narrative of him thinking he could come back. I mean, I wasn't wishing that he wouldn't, but I just didn't think it made sense. And they kept saying, Dave, all the way up till the end, like, well, we'll activate him. He could play. And I'm thinking, man, if they have a chance, they're going to have to win the last game and maybe get some help. It just seemed way too big of a risk. Now they're officially eliminated. Doesn't seem like there's the urgency to do it, and he won't play. So just get healthy, get right, and if he wants to play again next year, come back and play then.
Third down, please, Chris.
Has Antonio Pierce done enough to become the Raiders head coach next season?
I think so. I do. The fans love him. The players love him. They've seen some pretty cool results on the field. Not all, but there's some signature wins. There's a phrase I've learned in my involvement in English soccer. The supporters over there, as they're called, will say, XYZ manager is really getting a tune out of the squad. They're really getting a tune out of them, and meaning that they're playing for him. They're rallying around whoever that manager is, or gaffer as they call him. It's so weird. I feel like Antonio Pierce is getting a tune out of the Raiders, and why not let the guy get an opportunity? It's a great story. You're going to get him cheaper than one of these retreads on the market, almost certainly. If I'm Mark Davis, I'd do it.
It sure seems like the players want him. I'm having a really hard time understanding his run too. I mean, the whole Raiders season, they've even in his run, he starts, he gets the Giants win, he gets the Jets win, so everybody's fired up. Look, he's 2-0. This is a new team. Lose to the Dolphins, no shame in that. Lose to the Chiefs. Then they had that 3-0 game to the Vikings.
Yeah.
And then, boom, there's the 63-point game against the Chargers that ends Staley's career there as the coach. They just beat the Chiefs. So it's been a little up and down. I think there's more good than bad. I'm going to go back to what I said yesterday. I think they got to figure out what they want to do as the general manager. And if the GM's on board with keeping Pierce, then I think it's his job if that's the way it goes.
Fourth down, please.
The Broncos are benching Russell Wilson for financial reasons. Are you okay with the reasoning behind this?
Yeah, so kind of like the Aaron Rodgers answer where I wished he'd have played, but I totally get it. I understand the Broncos' decision here. I also do not blame Russell Wilson one iota for being completely pissed off about it. Look, they acquired him, and they knew what his deal was. And then they asked him to go out there and play, and he's been a top 10 quarterback numerically this year. He's gone out there and played, and there's been a lot of roster dysfunction there. First year of a new coach. Point is, he's done what they've asked him to do. They had eyes wide open when they acquired him, and then they want him to renegotiate his deal and alter it and give up a ton of money. And by the way, go back out there and play. Screw that. I get why Russ would be pissed off, but I also understand they want to potentially save $30-40 million, so I get it as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to fully understand this from, the athletes. I always go for the guys that are out there playing, trying to make their money, and like Russell Wilson's getting paid well, but now this is being done strictly financially, when if they had won the last week or two, they'd be all in, and they'd be all in with Russell Wilson. They'd be on a push to make the playoffs. Now it looks like they're not only going to not play him, they're likely going to cut him. And it just, I know it's sports, I know it's business, but this is the part of it I don't like. And I think Russell Wilson will likely still end up on a team next year. It's just, the whole situation's weird to me.
All right, we will take a break. Chris, I don't have a number down here. We're taking a break here, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not? And a name you all know is now a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We'll have a conversation about that, maybe a couple of the others. We'll do all that right here on your home of the San Francisco 49ers, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers' final road game of the regular season is Sunday in D.C.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Debo Samuel.
San Francisco continues its quest for the NFC's top seed. 49ers and Commanders. Sunday at 10 on Sactown Sports.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Christmas is in the air at Hanley's Kia. The season of giving back is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia, the season of giving back today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Nero Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who's hot?
Did you think I would forget about mine and Jason Ross's guy on Christmas Day?
Who?
Jaime Jaquez Jr.
Yeah, Jaime
It's one of the
Jaquez.
best teams in the league on Christmas. Jaime had a career high 31 points to go along with 10 rebounds in the Heat's 119-113 win against the 76ers.
Jaime.
It's a great sports name. Jaime Jaquez.
Triple J.
Like if it was Jamie Jaquez, not as good a player.
No.
Jaime Jaquez, he's hot. Hot Jaime Jaquez. What school did he go to, by the way?
What's that?
What school did he go to?
UCLA. He's a Bruin.
The Heat's hot Jaime Jaquez. Who is not?
We had our final Monday Night Football game on Christmas Day.
Yeah, we did.
Favorites of Monday Night Football. They are not hot. They have lost their last 7 games in a row, including the Niners' 33-19 loss to the Ravens.
Oh.
Oh. Well, you know.
Who knew?
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Marcos Bertone piss off baseball yesterday?
The whole sport?
For a different time?
He put out his baseball Hall of Fame ballot. He's a voter. And then he tweeted this: not surprised by crying fanboys when ballots are announced. Sorry to hurt your little feelings. You get no credit for transparency on this platform. Some players who didn't get a vote this year could get one next year. Meanwhile, grow up. And one of the people that he did not vote for on his ballot was Gary Sheffield. And Gary Sheffield Jr. quote tweeted Marcos's tweet and went in on him pretty hard. And
man, he got numbers.
Dude, he did. Marcos, I was texting with Marcos yesterday, and he said, I can piss off anyone. That is one thing. Look, Marcos Marcos can be frustrating. There is no doubt about it. But he also understands that that's part of his, like, Marcos has no problems courting controversy at all. Like, if I was getting roasted like that, dude, it would ruin my life for that day. And I would stress out so hard about it. Marcos is just like, yeah, it's part of the game. I don't care. Screw it. And
looking at his ballot, he only voted for 2 people, huh?
Yeah.
Which is fine.
It's just fine. It's his right. It's his vote. But
what would you do? Look at his ballot. I mean, not for his, but as you see it, because you can vote for as many as 10, I believe, right?
So my take is I think the whole Hall of Fame gatekeeping thing is stupid. Like, put him in the Hall of Fame. You know, if I'm looking at who is on the list right now, who would I put in? I'd put in Beltray, absolutely. I put in Beltran, no problems, and those are the 2 he voted for. This is my own personal thing. He'll never make it, but I love Mark Burley's career. I'd put him in. He was just 200 innings. If you go back and look at his stats, and I do it like once a year. I'll pull up Burley's stats. Like, the dude would just go out every year and pitch you 220 innings and have like a 3.5 ERA just every single year. And I think there's something to that. Andrew Jones, I'd probably throw in there. Andy Pettit, I would have thrown in there. Manny Ramirez, I would have thrown in there. Alex Rodriguez, yes. Gary Sheffield, yes. And probably Billy Wagner, maybe. But I would have voted for those guys.
Yeah, I was looking at the ones I felt for sure about that he didn't, which is okay, man. And I get why. Right, there's a common theme here.
Yeah.
But Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, Gary Sheffield for sure for me.
Like all the Roids guys get in for me.
Yeah, and there's others that will say no way. That's fine. That's just where the line is drawn. But for me, We've gone down this talk before, but it's, baseball didn't do anything about it during most of, not these guys' time, but more so McGuire and Bonds. If anything, accentuated it. There's other people that are in, like managers that put those guys in the lineup every day. It's a walking, contradiction, the Hall of Fame to me in baseball. So anyway.
Walking contradiction, good Green Day song.
It's a great song.
Players with 45 or more stocks in December. If you're not familiar with that, that's steals and blocks. Thought this is interesting. Brooke Lopez, Chet Holmgren, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, there was I think Gilgeous-Alexander had 11 steals over 2 games or something stupid like that. But pretty interesting that you got 2 guys on the Oklahoma City Thunder that are on that list. Finally, in this segment, guys, the 15 finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame are out, and leading the way for a lot of local fans, Patrick Willis.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he gets in. He's in the, sort of in the Barry Sanders, Jim Brown category. Simply relax, everybody. I'm talking about he's a guy that left completely in his prime, probably had another 2, maybe 3 Pro Bowls in him. I don't want him to get penalized necessarily for that. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
I did too. And I actually, when I remember looking at him a while back, I thought he played less than I remembered. So I was thinking, man, he only played 5 years. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer. And then he played 8. That's in 112 games.
Yeah.
He played a lot of football. He was great in his run. Great. Not just he was a pretty good player. No, he was amazing. So I hope he gets in.
Some of the, I think I've got the finalists here. Julius Peppers should get in. Antonio Gates should get in. Devin Hester should get in. I don't know if that. I think he really should. But Reggie Wayne.
I think so.
Yeah, 13-year career, 14-year career. Here's one. How about Fred Taylor, the old Jags running back?
He had a really good career.
I feel like he's a Hall of Good / Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Rodney Harrison?
Not certain about that one.
Yeah. Dwight Freeney. I feel like that's a guy, along with Jared Allen. Those guys should get in.
Mm-hmm.
Darren Woodson. Yeah. Put them all in, Jason. Why not?
Yeah, put everybody in. Everybody gets in.
Put everybody in.
They got enough coats.
When we come back, Niners at 9. Matt Barrows normally joins us on Monday. We were off Monday. He's nice enough to join us today. We'll do a nice long stretch with Matt, try to break down not just what went wrong Monday, but where the Niners go from here, other than Maryland. We'll do all that right here on your home of the 49ers next, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers have secured their playoff berth, and now they chase the NFC's top seed.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Check out all the 49ers games with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan
on your home for the playoff-bound 49ers. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone for the life of your garden. The 49ers Christmas was ruined Monday night, dropping their first game in 6 weeks, 33-19 to Baltimore. Quarterback Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions in the game, the most for any 49ers gunslinger since Colin Kaepernick in 2015. The Red and Gold still control their own destiny in the NFC playoff standings, looking to get back on track New Year's Eve against Washington.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, EB Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive, both indoors and outdoors. Trust EB Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing green.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back, January 18th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Bring the family and discover your next adventure. Buy the latest gear, find the best destinations, learn from the experts in fishing and hunting. On the weekend, visit the Giant Youth Fair, free entry for youth 15 and under. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 18th through 21st at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for the Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
And what about those brand new Dodge Hornets everyone's talking about?
This month, you can lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT plug-in hybrid for only $199 a month for 27 months. That's over $5,500 in total savings.
Now's the best time to get the vehicle you need at Hoblet. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factory rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699,991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of eligible first responder association only. No payment for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,500 total net savings after 2,000 factory rebates and 3,500 dealer discount. 27-month lease with 3,995 due at signing plus tax and license fees on approved credit through Ally Financial. 7,500 max miles per year, 25 cents per mile for excess miles. 20 of each net savings.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Oakland A's every weekend.
And it's swung on line to left center, base hit, and the A's have won it on a walk-off line drive, base hit to left center.
Sactown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
All righty. Welcome back. Final hour of the program. We lay out what's still to come for y'alls. We're going to talk to Matt Barrows here in just a second. We'll get to what to watch tonight. Some bowl games popping up amongst the NBA. And then we'll crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. Guys, I can't see the phones from here. Are we good to go?
We are ready to go, Dave.
All right. Joining us right now from The Athletic. Hey, our second member of the Athletic staff today is Sam Amic. Joined us earlier. You can, of course, hear all that right here on our YouTube channel. Just subscribe to Sactown Sports. You can hear all past interviews, and you can hear this one live. Coming in on a holiday week, we appreciate him joining us on Thursday, normally on Mondays, to do a post-mortem on what was against the Ravens Monday night. Matt Barrows. Good morning, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing well. So you want me to talk about what they're calling Bloody Christmas out here? Okay.
Yeah, it was different. You know, we've had a few days to talk about it, Matt. the 3 losses in a row, Trent Williams is out, Debo was hurting, the defense looked to be all, goofy. You had Coach Wilkes coming down the sideline. You needed the bye week. You got Chase Young. There are no excuses here. Everybody's playing pretty much. Everybody's healthy. Everything's a go. And boy, the Ravens came in and just laid the smackdown.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the explanation is easy. The 49ers offense, usually scoring 30 points a game and, getting a lead before the half and then extending the lead after the half. They did the opposite. They were terrible. They turned the ball over and gave the Ravens short field. The Ravens had 2 touchdown scoring drives. One was 3 plays. One was 1 play. So, I mean, I felt like going back, the defense had lapses. There were a couple of big plays that they gave up, and they were, typical Lamar Jackson plays where they got the guy dead to right, and he escapes and then either, makes a big play with his arm or makes a big play with his feet. But other than that, I thought it was a solid defensive effort. They went in determined to not allow the Ravens to run all over them. Ravens had the best rushing attack in the league, averaging more than 160 yards a game. And the 49ers held them to 102. So I think that they felt like their game plan was solid. I mean, this is all in the context of, okay, what happens if they face the Ravens again in Las Vegas? I think the 49ers would feel good about their game plan with the caveat, hey, we just got to get this Lamar Jackson guy on the ground this time, which obviously is easier said than done.
Matt, if they were to play again and they had a similar type game plan, the end result was Christian McCaffrey had over 100 yards, had a 1 big run, but some other good runs and good averages, but they didn't seem to have the balanced run to pass. Part of that was they did get down, but I didn't feel like they were really looking to run early that often either. So do you think if they matched again, would they look to the ground game a little more, which truly seems to be in Kyle Shanahan's DNA?
Well, I mean, if the 49ers defense was content with its game plan, then the Ravens defense was very content with how they played Brock Purdy in that group. And Shanahan was asked that, and he said, the plan was to be balanced early on. They came out with 5 straight throws and moved the ball down the field and only was stopped with that interception in the end zone. But the Ravens obviously were showing something that told Shanahan that, the run's not there. I'm gonna pass it. And they did move the ball, and they were successful, and they were going to score, at least a field goal probably, until that interception. So it's a good question. I mean, it could be that the 49ers would be sort of running into a defense stack to stop the run if they had tried to do it at that point. My guess is that the Rams ran the ball very well against the Ravens. The Browns did too. I'm guessing that the Ravens saw that and they anticipated that the 49ers would come out running, and they decided to take that away. I think it's interesting that they decided, okay, you know what, we're going to challenge Brock Purdy instead of Christian McCaffrey in this game, and they made that bet, and they won it. They won it in a big way.
Matt Barrows joining us. One of my favorite things to say this week in a snarky way is, unless I'm wrong, Kyle Shanahan's system was present Monday. So was Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, and Brandon Ayuk. Therefore, if we follow the national narrative on MVP, we can't blame Brock Purdy one iota for anything having to do with this loss.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes. It took me a second there, but I get it. If you're going to ding him for one thing, you can't ding him for the very opposite as well. The question is, what was happening that, turned Brock Purdy from, the second coming of Drew Brees to, a late 7th round quarterback.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, he's always one step ahead of everything. He's seeing he's seeing things, faster than the coaches do sometimes on the sideline. And that wasn't happening in this game. The windows were tighter. The anticipation wasn't quite there. The Ravens obviously were doing something to throw him off his game. And, if there is a rematch, that's it. I mean, that's going to be the storyline of the 2-week run-up. You can Brock Purdy overcome, the one team this year that's really thrown something at him that he couldn't handle.
Matt, the other thing I think with this team, and it's a good situation that they create more times than not, and generally when they win, you said it earlier, like they get ahead or they score late in the half and score to start the second half and start to build some separation. I feel like they are really good and almost unbeatable when they get ahead, and especially if they get a 2-score lead. I mean, just good luck catching them. But how about the games like this game when they are behind and maybe they're off schedule? That doesn't seem to me when they are at their best. How do they, maybe they're never in these situations again, but if they are, how do they get better at that specific thing?
Yeah, that's the big question, because that's what happened during that 3-game losing streak. To his credit, Purdy in Cleveland did engineer a last-minute drive that would have won the game, but Jake Moody missed the field goal. So he can do that, and he is good. You see the quarterbacks who excel in those scenarios use their improvisational skills, off-schedule stuff, creativity, and Purdy has that. And I think he's got a great deal of creativity. But it just hasn't happened. The come-from-behind game, a dramatic come-from-behind game, hasn't happened for him yet. It's as simple as a defense is not having to play the run as much in that scenario. So they're dropping their linebackers into coverage. The windows are tighter. Purdy can't read the keys as easily as he can when the 49ers have a lead. It's more difficult. Most quarterbacks don't win those games when they're trailing by a couple of touchdowns in the second half. But it's the one missing element on his resume right now. So it'll be interesting if he can do that. He's a very, very quick learner. So you would think that that's going to happen at some point in the near future. These next games are not going to be easy ones. I think everybody saw the Rams a couple of weeks ago, and they look really tough. The 49ers are going to be really beat up for this game. Short week, lots of injuries, new quarterback in Washington. So that game might be tougher than a lot of people would have anticipated at the beginning of the season. So there might be some opportunities for those kind of come from behind scenarios.
Matt, can you just real quick give us, to the best of your knowledge, an injury update going into this weekend?
Yeah, Eric Armstead probably isn't going to play, and that's a big question mark about when he will be able to come back. He missed 8 games, half a season last year with the same injury. So if you extrapolate that, then you're talking about him, this injury bleeding into the playoffs. They just signed Sebastian Joseph Day, a defensive tackle. I don't know how much he's going to be able to play in Washington, but it's looking like he could get a lot of minutes if Armstead is out. The other guys that they're worried about, they've got Ambry Thomas. He's got a hamstring injury that kind of means that there could be either Jason Verrett, who's probably on a pretty strict snap count, or a rookie, Darrell Luter, playing in this game. And then Aaron Banks is the other big one. Left guard could mean that John Feliciano is back at left guard and Spencer Burford is back in the lineup at right guard there. So some shuffling along an offensive line that pretty much has stayed intact the last 2 seasons. They really haven't seen a lot of changes along that line. I think that's helped Purdy out quite a bit.
Man, I know they beat a couple of the teams I'm going to ask you about, but the other one they just lost to. So if they could run into at some point in this journey the Cowboys again, the Eagles again, and they probably would love it if it was the Ravens again, because that means they made the Super Bowl. But of those three, who would give you the most concern if the Niners faced them again?
Yeah, I mean, the team that they just got blown out by, I think, because of what I just described, is that you can have the greatest defensive game plan in the world, but all it takes is Lamar Jackson sidestepping a tackle for a sack to turn into a touchdown. So I think that the 49ers would feel good about that rematch. I mean, it wouldn't be a case where, oh, gee whiz, this team has our number and there's no way we can win. I would actually pick the 49ers, I think, because I think they would have real motivation. It would be a fantastic game. I think the whole league, given the viewership numbers from the Christmas night game, would love that scenario. I think it would go, in terms of toughest matchup, I think it would go Ravens, Eagles, Cowboys in that order.
Matt, just getting existential for a second. There's something just so weird about the Niners, this current regime and quarterbacks. It seems like a lifetime ago, but it wasn't, that we were talking about Jimmy G and Trey Lance and what's going to happen. And then this Brock Purdy guy shows up weirdly, and you have the debacle in Philly in the playoffs. And then this year has been the Brock Purdy narrative is, you've been in this business longer than I have, but it's been one of the most interesting things I've seen nationally and locally. This Disney story about the Mr. Irrelevant, the most important low or non-pick since Kurt Warner, to do the things that he's been doing, and then see, and maybe you have a different feel here, Matt, but to see so many in the national media almost not just trying to discredit what he's doing, but to seemingly root against it. And then he finally puts out this stinker clunker of a game in a terrible moment. And you almost saw this, there was this rejoicing, and it turns everything on its ear to me, in the sense, obviously I'm biased, I'm a Niner fan, but it seems like this guy should be nationally celebrated, to be a heroic role model type figure, not to mention how likable he is, but it just seems different. And I'm curious, as somebody who's closer to the team than anybody, your thoughts on that whole narrative and the covering of him by the media this year.
I mean, I can only guess that sort of that gleeful reaction that you're describing is sort of a reassurance. Everything's back in the natural order. We didn't think this guy was going to be very good. We didn't evaluate him very highly. He almost wasn't drafted. Finally, our instincts about him are being reaffirmed. But it is interesting because he does everything right, and that's why I think he's going to ultimately, rebound nicely from that outing, is because he's so grounded and he's so smart. And like I describe him as he just turned 24 yesterday. I describe him as a 52-year-old in a 24-year-old's body. I mean, he's just so mature that I just don't see this flummoxing him for very long. And I guarantee you, he's not going through his social media and stewing over all the national takes and stuff like that, which, by the way, the previous quarterbacks have done. Yeah. They're sort of Colin Kaepernick loved that stuff. I mean, he wanted to build that chip on his shoulder as high as he could get it, and sort of kind of embraced all the hatred around him to do that. I don't think that's sustainable for a career. Might get you hyped up for a couple games, but I think that Brock Purdy is in it for the long haul, and that his approach is that of a long-time quarterback.
I mean, I guess there's still a chance, certainly, that he could win the MVP. There was some damage done this last weekend, and certainly some shine now on Lamar Jackson. But if I asked you, Matt, who's the team MVP, who would you say?
Yeah, I'd still go with Brock Purdy. I'm not gonna change my mind because he had one bad game in 15. Like I said earlier, I mean, he's the one who is distributing the ball to all these guys. He's the one that has the ball in his hands on every play. 49ers still are within reach of that 1,000-yard receiver mark. I think George Kittle's right on the edge. I think he's got 991 or something like that. Deebo Samuel's the one who's the question mark. He's got 832 right now. So he needs 2 really solid games to hit 1,000. But that's such a blue moon stat. And it reflects so well on the guy throwing the ball. Oh, and by the way, Christian McCaffrey is going to have 550 or some huge number that's shy of 1,000, but still impressive. Brock Purdy is the guy. So to me, he probably edges out McCaffrey. I thought McCaffrey was the best player on offense on Monday for sure, as he has been for a few games this year. But there's a reason why the QB usually gets the MVP award. It's a QB league.
Matt, does anybody left in Washington care about beating a Shanahan?
I think that they care about beating a Chase Young. I wrote a story today with our Washington beat writer Ben Standig, and so the Washington fans, being 3 hours ahead, got a head start on the comments. They're pretty vicious. I mean, this is a guy who was drafted number 2 overall, who's going to be the savior of that franchise. He's a local kid and local, like within, a few minutes drive of FedEx Field, and did not live up to those expectations. Now, there's a lot of animus, shall we say, about him. So I think that's the last thing that Commanders fans want to see is Chase Young coming in and getting a couple of sacks on Sunday.
So really, any given Sunday type of thing, injuries aside, do you see the Redskins having much for this, what will be a very angry team?
Well, we call them the Commanders now.
Oh, God. Sorry. Yeah, it's sleep. Commanders, I apologize.
Like I said, the 49ers just had a big game on Monday night. It's a short week. It's the end of the season. We've seen some fatigue issues with this team. I thought that they were more prominent in the Cardinals game than in the Ravens game, but this is what happens at the end of the season. So I don't think that the 49ers will lose this, but it certainly wouldn't be a huge shock if it's one of these games that's close. There's a bad turnover. The 49ers don't do that end of the half thing where they score and then they get the ball back. I can see it being a close game, and when you've got a close game, anything can happen. So, I'm not real certain about a win, but I think the 49ers are going to handle business.
That is the Athletic's Matt Barrows, joining us each and every week, beat writer for your San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, Matt, next Monday is New Year's, so enjoy that. We'll see if we can't grab you later in the week, hopefully after a big bounce back win against the Commanders. Thank you for everything you do throughout the year for us, Matt. It's always appreciated, and we really do appreciate you coming on the show each and every week.
Well, thanks for having me, and a happy New Year to you and Jason, and I will talk to you next week.
All right, take care. That is Matthew Barrows of The Athletic. Make sure you get a subscription and check him out, along with Sam Amic, our earlier guest, at theathletic.com, and download that app. We will take a break. Jason, when we get back, what to watch tonight, some basketball, some football, and also why it's good to be an NBA owner if you're selling your team. I got some numbers for you that might surprise you.
And don't forget, I got a bowl game.
Oh, the bowl game. I forgot about that. The bowl game. Is this a part 2?
Yeah, but
part 2. We'll do that next. Sactown Sports.
The 49ers have secured their playoff berth. And now they chase the NFC's top seed.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Check out all the 49ers games with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan.
On your home for the playoff-bound 49ers. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
This holiday season, Elk Grove Kia is here to make your dreams come true. With over 100 years of combined experience, our expert financing team is ready to help you get a new ride in 2024. You have repos, late payments, or even faced bankruptcy? No problem. At Elk Grove Kia, we believe everyone deserves a sleigh full of joy, and we're here to make it happen. And the gifts just keep coming. Purchase any new Kia today, and you won't make a single payment until next year. That's right, no payments until 2024. Now that's how you close out the year in a new ride from Elk Grove Kia. Plus, with Elk Grove Kia, there's no need to tighten your belt this holiday season because we're offering no money down. You heard that right. No money down and no payments until 2024. Santa may have his reindeer, but we've got the horsepower. Visit Elk Grove Kia today and let us make this holiday season the merriest one yet. So no matter your credit history, drive into the holidays with a smile and a new Kia from Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or visit us at elkgrovekia.com today. And happy holidays from
Elk Grove Kia.
Plays here.
Got a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk, a block there. Hurdles a man, 10-5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday. You're out that door to a soggy start thanks to the rain that fell overnight. Today is looking like a dry day with sun and clouds mixing in, and afternoon highs in the upper 50s to about 60 degrees. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every single day. Imagine what you could do if your business had that kind of reach. It's not a dream. Right now, you can take advantage of Amazon's expansive network to benefit your business. Unlock expert insights and tap into the full potential of Amazon. Simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Put the power of Amazon to work for you. Text DIGITAL, that's DIGITAL, to 916-766-5105.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill is turning me into a pro. Napoleon Grills has features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just go to Napoleon.com for your nearby Napoleon Grills dealer. Napoleon Grills. Now is the time for the best selection of grills and fine accessories for the holidays.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777. 7777.
Timing is everything. And now is the time to buy, California, during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers. It's time for our biggest offers of the year on the entire Ford lineup of trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years and counting, or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors, and the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. Now's the time to buy during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers with exclusive offers on your favorite Ford vehicles. And now is your time to get behind the wheel of the Ford truck or SUV you've always wanted. But time is running out. These offers absolutely end on January 2nd. Visit your California Ford dealer today, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
That's right. 1-800-920-1140, and that's where JR resides. JR, good morning. You're on with Jason and Dave.
Happy Festivus for the rest of us.
Yes.
Time to air our grievances. Was that the worst friggin' Christmas weekend in the history of Christmases? My God, Saturday night sucked. Took the family to the show there at the Golden One. Sucked. Had family over on Monday night. Gloating in their face. Sucked. Woke up the next day thinking, okay, Portland, win, make me feel better. Nope, sucked. I'll tell you right now, if I saw Rudolph with a shiny damn nose, I would have punched him right in the face.
I blame your family, JR.
Yeah.
What's that?
I blame your family.
Oh, 100%. They've always been tagging along. My back hurts from carrying their butts. You know what? I should have taken all their gifts back and turned them in. Salvation Army or something. I will say this, Carmichael Dave, that's a nice idea with Wiggins. That's actually a genius thought out of that brain there. That's not a bad thought. I don't know. It's like way out there, but it's a possibility.
I think it actually could be a legitimate. Well, generally in division trades don't happen first off, but it is a peripheral player. It's not a superstar. They're having an issue.
Full credit.
Hey, if it works, I'll take full credit. But if it's a failure, then that's money. I would say though that Tim Kawakami wrote about this today. He and Wiggins and Kuminga, it looks like they've got to choose one. And if Wiggins ends up being the odd man out, and I think he probably will be, that might be a peripheral upgrade without too much money. I think he makes $5 million more than Harrison Barnes does. He's locked up for another 4 years, so it's at least a name to throw into the pile of potential moves.
I like it. And then you got the Rain Man over there working the radio, Chris Fallot, throwing out January 26th. He just knew the date. Like, oh yeah, I always drive on the parking lot. I can piss her. I never got him. Put a leather helmet on that head, Jay Ross. Happy New Year's, boys.
All right.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Yeah, don't drop matchsticks in front of Chris.
January 23rd.
Yeah, come on. Get our facts right.
What's going on tonight? We got the Pistons and Celtics. Wouldn't that be a great time? Wouldn't that be, as the promo plays early? Wouldn't that? He was just complimenting you too, Chris. Wouldn't that be a great time to break the streak at the Celtics?
Perfect. That's why sports.
Mavs and T-Wolves.
I know someone in Massachusetts who would lose his hat.
Hey,
No,
listen.
Hats never lost.
That's a great point right there. That would 100% not be lost. Thank you, Jason. If the Pistons beat the Celtics tonight, we have to at least reach out to Nick Cattles to see if he'll join us tomorrow. Jazz Pelicans. That's a funny thing to think about. Mavericks, T-Wolves, Grizz, and Nuggets. The Nuggets looking to hand the Grizzlies their first Ja Morant returns loss. And the Heat at Warriors. So we got a little basketball to watch before we get to the main event tomorrow, leading us into the weekend, the Hawks and the Kings, Jason. I want to take you back to May of 1996. This was about 4 years before Mark Cuban bought the Mavericks. Thanks to Darren Ravel, who was always good with this stuff, putting up the Financial World magazine, because everyone keeps their Financial World magazines from 96. The Dallas Mavericks were the second lowest valuated team in the NBA. This was in 1996. You guys want to take a guess as to what the Mavs were worth back then?
In 96,
I'll give you one hint just because it's so tough with, how many years ago that was. The New York Knicks were the most valued franchise in the NBA at $205 million.
Okay, so I'm going to go 85 million.
I'm going to go 96 million.
You guys are good, man. Right down the middle, but I think we're going to give it. Math gives it to Jason Ross. The Dallas Mavericks, $89 million. The only team worth less than them, the Los Angeles Clippers at $88 million. Of course, you're wondering, weirdly enough, right around the middle. And I want to say this is right around the time they were sold to Jim Thomas. I'm not sure. The Sacramento Kings were worth a whopping $114 million. That's, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, in case you're wondering, and I know you weren't, that's $1 million more than the Golden State Warriors were worth. And the Warriors now, I believe, the most expensive team in the NBA. So let's buy a team, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's
do it.
Let's pool our resources. So I know JR's got some cash.
Yeah.
Let's pool our resources and buy an NBA team. What else? I had something else for you. Oh, we're talking about Antonio Pierce earlier. And reasons why he may want to carry over as Raiders head coach. One of the things with the Raiders through the years that's very stereotypical and for a good reason is them being undisciplined, if you will, being a very penalized team in the NFL. That's fair to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So since the year 2000, I'm just going to run down the list here. And I'll just start, I won't go down the whole list. I'll go the last few years. Jason, the Raiders ranks in penalties. Remember, higher is worse. 32, 25, 18, 30, 26, 31. Last year, 30th. This year, the Vegas Raiders are the least penalized team in the NFL.
Wow.
Number one.
Would not have guessed that.
I would not have guessed that either, but there you go. There's another feather in the cap for Antonio Pierce. We got a bowl game here.
We got a couple bowl games today. You want to play a bowl game again?
Let's flipping go, dog.
All right. Dave, you and Chris know that there's some very important bowl games out there tonight. I'll just give you one, like the Valero Alamo Bowl tonight that has Arizona and Oklahoma playing at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
But we got a couple of games that are going on. One right now, we actually have 4 games this year, 4 bowl games being played at baseball stadiums. What do you guys know about that? Care to take a guess where these games are being played? What baseball stadiums?
I'm going to say San Diego.
Yes, we've already had that one at Petco Park. That was last night, the Holiday Bowl.
How about San Francisco?
So that doesn't count for today?
No, I mean 4 total.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
so you got one.
San Francisco?
Stadium.
No longer at San Francisco, Dave. They used to have that bowl game
The
out
Nut
there.
Bowl.
Well, it was the Emerald, the Foster Farms. It was Emerald
Florida
Nut. They had a whole
played
bunch
1 year.
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium.
Yes, that's today. What is it officially called? The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl.
Of course.
Yep.
What about Wrigley Field?
No Wrigley.
No, I believe Fenway Park Wasabi Bowl.
That's right now. That's going on right now. And
The
we have
Wasabi Bowl?
the Wasabi Fenway Bowl, the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowler today. I told you that. We also have the Valero Alamo Bowl, and there was one other bowl game that happened the other day. In what baseball stadium? Used to be, here's the hint, used to be called the Cactus Bowl.
The Glendale, Arizona.
Yeah, Chase Field. It's now the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. But I want to ask you about the final bowl game that's today, the other bowl game. This is going to be at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida. NC State versus Kansas State. It's the first Pop-Tarts Bowl. But the Pop-Tarts Bowl, Dave and Chris, has been through many changes over the years. This originated in 1990.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
There's been a Pop-Tart Bowl since 1990.
It's been basically at the site here.
Oh, okay.
And it's gone through 11 different company name changes.
What?
The very first one, though, which was 1990, so that's why I'm going here with this one, was a very prominent company that is no longer, well, I think there's still existence, but barely in existence.
Was it the Enron Bowl?
1990, nope.
The General Electric Bowl.
Nope.
He's still around quite a bit.
This is something I guarantee all three of us spent many a time in this store.
The Kmart Bowl.
Ooh. Good guess.
For pop culture, I guess, type reasons without giving you...
the Tower Records Bowl.
Okay, right idea.
Goodies.
What other kind of media entertainment could we have?
Circuit City Bowl.
There you go, Dave. I heard it. The Blockbuster Bowl. Florida State played in the first one.
That's right. We won.
Yes, you did over Penn State.
That's right.
It's gone from the Blockbuster Bowl to the CarQuest Bowl to the Micron PC Bowl to the Tangerine Bowl, the Champ Sports Bowl, the Russell Athletic Bowl, Camping World Bowl. The last couple of years, Kellogg's has owned it, so it's been the Cheez-It Bowl, and this year they've transitioned to the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Last year, Dave, you won the Cheez-It Bowl. Florida State beat Oklahoma.
Undefeated in Cheez-It.
Didn't they have like the Cheez-It Hotel?
I think so. You've been in this bowl, I think, 6 times overall.
Yeah, we're pretty big on that. I understand.
Isn't the Pop-Tart Bowl though the one with the edible mascot?
I think it might be.
Yes. Can I? Here's the thing: if you get a giant vat of mayo on the coach of the winning team in the Dukes Bowl, then what do you do? You just get plastered with Pop-Tarts?
So this just popped into my head right now.
Wow.
Who's playing in the Pop-Tart Bowl?
Oh,
Jason, I'm guessing because you're looking at
the
it.
Pop-Tarts Bowl is
NC State, Kansas State.
Yeah, correct.
Should we pick who the winner will be, and then the loser has to eat a Pop-Tart with mayonnaise on it?
Oh God, no. No.
Oh wow, you don't feel good about yourself, huh?
No, I don't feel. I never feel good about myself as a general rule, but certainly,
you have to take a bite out of it. You don't have to eat the whole thing.
But what's the win?
Watching the person eat it.
That's true. I mean, I don't. Okay, I'm in because here's the thing. It would suck, but I like Pop-Tarts and I like mayonnaise. I don't think I'd like them together. Let me ask you guys this: if you had to choose a flavor of Pop-Tart that would go best with mayonnaise, what would it be?
Strawberry,
s'mores? Cherry,
apple. I don't know.
Also, can we both agree, or all three agree, or not? What I like to call the munchies. Nothing wrong with a glass of milk and a cold Pop-Tart.
Oh, gross.
Last Pop-Tart either of you have had.
They used to have them at the Madison building in the
in the vending machine?
The vending machine, and it'd be like the last thing there.
Yeah. You're probably right, dude. That might be the last Pop-Tart I've had.
Yeah.
So probably 2009.
Do you know the 4 original flavors?
Cherry.
I know that Seinfeld, he either came out with one or is doing a documentary on Pop-Tarts.
Really?
Yes.
Cherry, blueberry, cinnamon, and
Cinnamon
strawberry.
has to be there.
Let's see. Strawberry's correct. 4 original flavors: strawberry, blueberry, brown sugar, cinnamon, and apple currant.
Apple currant.
That's
Well,
what
that
it
3 or
reads.
4.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Pop-Tarts full tonight.
Yeah, on that note. And why the Wasabi Fenway Bowl confuses me. Wasabi is a food, or it's a condiment.
No, it's like a computer, it's a software company.
Oh, called was okay. I was like, what is just like the general Wasabi Coalition sponsoring this thing?
Winning coach gets a computer dropped on his head.
When the losing coach has to snort wasabi, Steve-O style,
while on computer.
When we come back, let's snort up some crosstalk. Styles, Watkins, Ross, and Carmichael Dave, all finishing out the hour before we get to Styles and Watkins for the next 4. We'll hand the baton off next on Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. This is Jeff Scott. Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now, there are medicines that can treat COVID whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call the healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Why is the world's #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers and blowers to mowers and more, trusted by homeowners and pros all over the world. And you'll find service and help from experienced professionals. Real steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. For a limited time, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, get an additional 20% off in-store clearance appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today because Lowe's knows deals. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 12/28/23 through 1/3/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor car track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
There's no better way to wrap up the year than in a new Ram 1500 from Knight Elk Grove Dodge. Wait, there is a way. Got a new 2023 Ram 1500 DT and take up to $18,000 off MSRP. That's better. During the wrap up the year sales event at Knight Elk Grove Dodge, take up to $18,000 off MSRP on 8 new 2023 Ram 1500 DTs in the Elk Grove Auto Mall and online at elkgrovecdjr.com. MSRP $16,225. Net price $42,192 after $9,000 dealer discount and $90.33 in rebates. Bid PN 621-250 expires 1/2/24.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back, January 18th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Get $3 off coupons at Big O Tires and O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Get to the action in Toyota's all-new Tacoma. Visit sportsexpos.com for locations, seminars, and show info. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 18th through 21st at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big ol' nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Bonnie Plumbing, Electric Heating and Air.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Well, it's nice to have a studio audience. Good morning, as I see Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins make their way in, get comfortable. They got 4 hours ahead of them where we decided to warm the seats up for you fellas. How are you, Alan?
Great, Dave. How's it going?
It's going great. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Chris, how are you? He just
Great,
put his headphones
sorry.
on, yeah.
Just put
Oh.
my head.
Both of you doing fine. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stop asking how everybody's doing. I feel like I do care, but then it's also kind of boring radio.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
I'm attempting to dazzle Dave.
I'm excited because today is National Card Playing Day. Finally, one I can relate to. I'm a big fan of playing spades. Try to get a weekly game going with friends. Gentlemen, do you have any card games you regularly play?
Does anybody play? Is it even possible to play solitaire not digitally?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to, but
I mean, I've never done it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Possible.
Here's a question. Chris and I went back and forth for at least 2 or 3 shows, throughout the 2 or 3 shows, about whether reading, if you listen to an audiobook, did you read? So now I'm asking the question, if I play solitaire on my phone, am I playing cards?
I've never been able to get through an audiobook. I haven't. I've tried. It's just weird.
It's definitely different.
But then I also grew up probably, I don't know, Jason, you might be the only one that might remember this. Remember those books you used to get? And they'd usually be based on movies like E.T. or Return of the Jedi. And you'd put the cassette tape in and it'd start out like, you can read along with me in your book. You'll know it's time to turn the page when you hear the chime ring like this. And you'd follow along. It was a picture book. I think it was a good way to like learn how to read. Do you remember those?
Yeah, something like that. But then I lost interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, solitaire.
Solitaire.
Yeah, no, not much of a card player. We play dominoes a lot in my friend circle.
I enjoy dominoes. Are you a domino slammer?
No, we actually play this version of dominoes called Mexican Train. Really, really fun. Really simple. It's great. I could explain it, but it's not. Don't have the time. I was like, it's just look it up. It's really fun, really simple. Anyone can.
Next 4 hours, we got you.
Yeah. Mexican Train.
It's National Chocolate Candy Day. I think we can all get behind that.
Yeah. Twix, underrated.
It is. It is underrated.
Left or right?
Got to go left. I'm left-handed.
There
you go. Like the classic, or do you like the flavored?
Excuse me?
Like
Yeah, it was like cookies and
peanut
cream.
butter, or
No.
cookies and cream.
What do we do?
Oh,
I'm a
peanut
purist.
Butter,
Living
peanut butter
life.
Twix is legit.
Can we stop putting peanut butter on everything?
Why? It's amazing.
Yeah, it's the best. What are you talking about?
Twix original. Next question.
Reese's.
Here's one way I can tell if I like someone or not. Let's go around the room. Yes or no, Milk Duds.
And for these reasons, I'm out.
I don't know if I've ever actually had a milk dud.
What?
Yeah.
I'd probably say more no, but I mean, I'd eat them. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. I've never purchased Milk Duds.
There we go. I'm there with you.
I'm definitely there.
Chris? Rolad?
I'm out.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? That's the correct answer, everyone.
I
Either
was worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, Milk Duds are terrible. They're objectively terrible. Alan, before we get to celebrity birthdays, I saw your tweet yesterday because you forced me to follow you.
Which one?
The one about the NFL being king.
I don't. Yeah. Go on.
And I saw the replies. Yeah, you're 100% correct.
Well, I don't think people understood, and
They
we're going
didn't.
to talk about
They
it on the
didn't.
show. They didn't
Yeah.
understand. I wasn't saying why the NFL is bigger. I'm saying why people obsess over talking about the fact that it's bigger. You
I'm glad-
understood, right?
Yes, I'm glad that you are going to talk about that on your show because I think that's a nuanced tweet. I think more people that look like me need to say that too. And you're 100% correct.
Yeah, they
Because
just
there-
kept saying, no, it's the fact that they have less games. I'm like, no,
Right.
sure. You know
Right.
what I mean?
You were doing the 50,000 foot. They were trying to do the on the ground.
There you go. Well, thank you, Dave. See, now that we follow each other, it's just all gravy.
Yeah, I don't like it. Celebrity Birthday is brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Crumble Cookies bring family and friends together, and nothing brings family and friends together like Crumble Cookies. Totally not the correct read, but you get the point. Jason Ross.
Happy birthday to acting legend Denzel Washington.
This is a tough one.
Are you saying he's like not really a legend, but he's acting like it, or did you mean he's a legend in acting?
He's that good he can act like a legend.
Okay.
John David Washington, his son.
Yep, that's right.
Former Sacramento Mountain Lion.
Correct.
Denzel Washington, who I believe still gets renewed his vows every year in South Africa, if I remember that story correctly. Denzel Washington is 70 today.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit higher just because he's been around a long time. I'm actually going to go 72.
Oh,
No.
George's uncle Denzel is 74.
I'm gonna go 69.
We have a correct answer, and it belongs to Christopher Laud, 69.
Wow, sorry.
Nice.
Happy birthday, Seth Meyers.
He's 50.
I'm going to say 48.
Yeah, because I was going to go, that's right. That's a great one. I'm going to go 50 on the nose.
Two
I'm going to go
50s.
46.
Oh, I thought, 51.
Oh, you're changing?
Yes.
Okay. We have a correct answer. The correct answer belongs to Christopher Laud. It's 50. Wow.
Can we
So
get
Chris
one
has-
more, please, so he doesn't end that way?
All right, because he's 2 for 2, Chris, you're going to get a choice of our last remaining to see if you can go 3 for 3. John Legend, Maggie Smith, Gail King, or Adam Vinatieri.
John Legend is 48.
Because
That's a
all
strong
of
guess.
me
Well,
love-
46.
Man,
So we have
What'd you say,
acting
Chris?
legend and John
48?
Legend.
48.
man, that's a good one. 49.
51.
Carmichael Dave with the win, 45 for John Legend.
It's all about just breaking the Verlod streak. All right, for Matt Barrows, for Sam Amic, for Chris Verlod, for Jason Ross, I'm Carmichael Dave. Styles and Watkins next for the next 4 hours. Tune in, stay tuned, light the beam tomorrow, would you? We'll talk about that and more on a Friday show. Bye now.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected.